Don't look under the internet.
Wow. Nice.
Playing the tummy smacks.
To answer your question, Simple Simon, we can't read.
Use a bitch.
Mike didn't even see what you asked, but that's his input.
What'd he say?
He said, when are we going to get that milking farm review?
You'll get it. Eventually.
It'll be from Amelia because Mike is reading that to his daughter currently.
Exactly. Well, I guess I don't need that up.
I came into Mike's house today, and his daughter offered me ecstasy.
That's true. She was slinging E all over the house.
Yeah, she was just walking around with E.
Simon, you won't bully me. You bully me, and then I'll bully you. This is how it works.
No one said no one took any. Nobody said nobody took any. We're just stating facts here.
I'm past those days.
To clarify, she offered him a letter E. A foam letter E.
It was full of
ecstasy. She was
full of
slanging ecstasy right on my face.
Slanging. My girl got to get him young. Welcome everyone to
Sam.
Don't Look Under the Internet, starring yours truly. You.
Hi, I'm me.
You.
I'm also me.
Me.
And you.
Me's
No,
me.
I'm me.
No, yeah, no, you, I'm me.
This is how we bring this to a grinding halt before we even fucking start.
Michael, Jason, Doug. Hello,
Thank you.
everybody.
Hello.
Matt is not here. He's feeling a little under the weather.
Dead.
He's feeling a little under the weather, so he's
Under
taking
the
the
dead.
night, which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to his opinion on what we're talking about. But
That's true.
You know what?
That's
You're
true.
not
we'll get there. We'll get there. But welcome everyone. Don't Look Under the Internet horror comedy podcast, where
You've come a long way, Mike. I just
Thank
need you
you.
to know that.
Thank you. I try. I don't know if it's a good place that I've gotten to, but
We're saying what we are correctly instead of just not fucking knowing.
you're right. And you know what else I'll say correctly is we're at Diluti.
Housekeeping.
So we have a couple
Clap above your
names,
head.
and
Clap
we're gonna
above
play
your penis.
the classic game.
Mike, you recording video?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna play the classic game. Name?
Name? Question mark?
Name?
So we have Takish.
Oh, I saw that one.
Takish.
It's just their name, I'm pretty sure. Although I do like that name.
I don't mind it. Takish. It sounds kind of like
quiche?
a samurai, kind of like in an anime, like when a
It's one of those
unknown
samurai pizza
mysterious, when an unknown mysterious samurai walks in, and they're like, "Oh, that's Takish. What is he doing here?" And it turns out there's a bounty, and Takish is gonna get him.
Man, we've got a whole backstory for this one. I can't hate this one at all.
Could be better.
What about the other one? Brian Griffin, the dog from Family Guy.
All right, I'll take that one.
The
That's
bluntness
pretty
of that
silly.
one. It's just.
I'm here for it.
I like the directness
It's
of
just.
it.
It's like they're beating us over the head with a 2x4.
Brian Griffin, the one from Family
The
Guy.
dog from Family Guy.
I
Yeah,
like it. I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah,
Good
I
names.
enjoy it.
Good names this week.
We're gonna get next week. We're gonna get fucking
4 Sams.
4 Sams. You're gonna get
What do you
Roger the alien from American Dad.
think? What do you think bitch fat is doing right now?
Sister bitch fat.
It's a fantastic question. Bitch fat, if you're out there. Hi.
Are you gonna join the Discord, bitch fat?
Where are you at with this?
We want to talk to you.
We need to know what's happening.
That concludes
Housekeeping.
Crap keeping.
So thanks for that.
Where do we keep those?
Oh, you know.
In the
That's not a
turlet.
question that I wanted to ask.
My butt.
Nope.
So, boys, the topic for the day.
Is that your segue?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel,
No. Let's see how he does
you
this one.
I feel like as of late, I've been kind of closed off, kind of a little sheltered, and it's like there was like a padlock put over my heart.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It's very gloomy and gray. You could say it's a gray lock that's over my heart right now.
God damn it.
And
ooh, buddy.
Coincidentally,
we need a boo button.
that's what we're talking
We
about
had one.
today is GREYLOCK. Which has easily become probably one of my top 5 favorite.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's actually very good.
It's real
fucking
fucking
love
good.
this one. Super dope.
If you were
And-
looking for us to shit on something tonight, it won't be this one.
And it's safe to say, because like the funny thing is, you'll notice with a lot of like analog horrors, the first episode is like 850,000 views, and then the video 2 comes out, and it's like you got 4,000. It's like
Yeah.
and then everyone after
What
that is
happens?
like 800.
Yeah.
800. It's like what happened here? This one consistently is like 250,000, 250,000, 300,000.
Yeah, I think altogether there was like close to 3 or 4 million views altogether
like
on this.
something like
on
that.
the
people
page.
are liking this one. I highly recommend it. Fucking dope. And
Fumpkin tits.
I say let's just get into it and talk about it because I'm
Cut out
excited.
the frou-frou and
because I'm excited to get to the end of it to discuss a bit further.
okay.
So where exactly do we start off on this beautiful bitch of an episode?
Let me just say, as is tradition, when we do these YouTube like medias for you guys, it's always preferable for you to watch along with us. We're trying to make this as digestible for you as we can over our audio medium. So again, we don't super deep dive, but we're gonna tell you how it is, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
We're gonna leave out. I mean, not leave out on purpose, but this is diluted. You fucking figure it out.
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
say it's
Um,
taken us this long to say this, but I think you guys have figured this out, that each one of us kind of approach our topics a little differently.
Yeah.
Whereas some of us might go very heavy-handed into some lore and some background and some research. Some of us might go very heavy-handed on the tropes.
Not
what
only
to
that,
take.
the way that we take notes as well. You guys are very.
I really hate
professional
looking at
looking.
Mike's notes.
Y'all are
Dude,
very
I
professional.
hate it.
No, your notes are a fucking travesty.
You guys have like bullet points
Yeah,
and little
how do you
suggestions.
separate your ideas?
I don't have
these,
to.
These are thoughts.
Yes, you do.
No,
This is
Mike-
just a
Mike has
string of
written-
consciousness.
That's why it's terrible to look at. It's like
just
what,
a
you just like wrote a paragraph,
it's just a block.
and you have to now. How do you like just look away and
How
then
do you
look back and be
find-
like, oh, that's where I was.
How do you find a specific set of information there? Let's say I ask you a question about video 10 or some shit. You know what I mean?
It's right here.
Yeah, all of it.
I mean,
it's all
right,
of it.
all right,
Whatever.
all right,
I know.
all right.
Because all that's up
I just
here.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. Mike,
I think it's because
Chill.
the way that I make my notes is the way I want to say it,
That's fair. Okay.
that's
how
fair.
I want it to come out of my mouth.
I
Whereas
don't-
you
I don't-
guys
I don't
are
like
like here's the
planning out
info I
everything
need.
I'm gonna say. Yeah, because I get drunk and then I'm like, well,
Yeah.
changing it up.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I
anyways.
usually abandon my notes halfway through.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start at where we always start, and that's video 1.
Ooh.
Video one.
How many videos do we have to look forward
There's
to in this series?
12.
12.
Twerv.
We got 12
But
videos.
a lot of them,
It's
I would say
varied.
a good,
They're hefty.
good 5 or so are pretty lengthy.
They're
This is-
they're chonky.
Did you say like 2 hours to finish this front to back?
probably around there.
Maybe
yeah.
maybe 2-3 hours, depending on if you need snacks at some point. Maybe take a piss. I don't know.
Jork it real
A
quick.
frothy
A
piff.
quick jork in between. I don't know if I want a jork after watching some of
Ooh,
this, but
no.
that's fine.
Nope.
All
think I
right. So video 1. It's about a minute and a half.
Go grab yourself a drink, get some wine, you know,
A Pinot,
straight up
a nice,
corking
a
it.
nice
and by
noir.
it, I mean my Pinot.
Pinot Grigio.
Latinos.
Aha. All right, we good? We ready?
Yeah.
You ready to
I
start?
think so. I can't
right, cool.
promise that won't happen again.
So episode 1 or video 1, whatever you want to call it, minute and a half, not very long, pretty straightforward. It's called Back Online. Basically it starts off with this like kind of gray screen that pops into an emergency like broadcast, actually no, broadcast is the wrong word. It's like an emergency sequence is what's happening. And you hear this like audio playing over what looks to be like this old school computer lab kind of place. And basically this robot voice is talking, and you can tell that essentially whoever's point of view we're seeing is trying to like hack into this override that's happening in wherever they are. I know that's very vague and not very descriptive, but that's all we get. That's like really all we get in this first video. We see like an emergency shutdown is happening. and someone is actively trying to download and extract some data from wherever they are.
Mhm.
So like,
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I
Hacker
remember this.
man.
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, it sounds like
It's like a system's coming online or some shit.
it's almost like the system's trying to go offline, and then
'Cause it's, like,
someone's trying to
deleting
like,
shit.
yeah, someone's like trying to actively be like, no, I'm trying to download shit. Like, stop. And like, you hear it be like, I forget what it says, but it's like, what do you want to do? And then like,
Well,
you hear something go like, touch you, and like, it's kind of creepy.
that's
but like,
very creepy. Well, the only reason I say that is because I just remembered the very beginning of this because Kelly was interested in what I was looking at,
right?
and that's the first time she's ever expressed that sentiment to me.
You're
for
like,
anything I do.
don't fuck with me.
Are you really interested? But she was, and so we looked at the first sequence, and when it was booting up, you could tell that it, like somebody was entering credentials that weren't
Yeah,
recognized, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, administrator override, like cleared.
Yep.
And then it started saying things about how like, oh, we're booting up at 10:40, like all that kind of stuff, and it incrementally goes up. That's the only reason I ask, like,
Right, because
Is it-
at the end of it, they're like extracting some sort of data, and it's like 80% done, and then
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
shit like that. So
Is that what it was saying?
Yeah.
I must have heard completely different. When it was going through it, where it's like 10%, 40%, I thought it was said deleting. Like it was deleting
there's
information.
data
someone was
extraction, yeah.
extracting data.
I thought
yeah.
it was deleting. Okay.
Trust me, I watched it like 30 times in a row just to make sure, because like at first I couldn't tell like what the fuck, and the closed captioning like wasn't working very well. But
Yeah.
either way,
I love how you and I are like, Doug, I know this was your video, but we haven't really seen it, but we have a lot to say about it.
Oh no, I watched all.
no,
this.
that's
No, I know,
good.
same,
I would rather you guys have stuff to say during my videos, because I always have stuff to say during your videos, so I don't want to be like
you
that
never shut
asshole.
up.
Yeah, shut
All right,
the
anyways.
fuck up, Doug.
Moving on, you both are stupid. Episode 2 is 4 minutes and 40 seconds, and it's called To the Mountain. This is an interesting video for sure. So the video starts off, and you see someone driving along like a one-laned, like snowy road. And they are listening to what seems to be some sort of like sermon.
Yeah, it's like a religious thing.
It's very, very religious. There's a lot of good quotes that come from this little like religious sermon that they're listening to. And the one that sticks out is somewhere along the road, you just hear him say, "The devil has a plan for you." And I don't know why, I just thought that was kind of sick. I was like, damn, rock on. But either way, it's that for like a few minutes, and not a whole lot happens. I literally wrote down classic Christian talk, blah, blah, blah. So you know that, that's just 2 minutes of them going through this.
Symbolism.
So we see the car pull up to like a gate, and you can hear what I assume is the person getting out of the car. And then once they do this, you see them start filming inside of the woods, and they start like, I don't know, filming the ground mostly. It's a very like found footage-esque sort of filming, I would say. And as they're filming, they come up to this like bloody patch of snow. And once they see this, the camera gets all glitchy and fuzzy and shaky. And then it like when it stops glitching, the blood is gone. And like I can only assume is the same spot they were just filming. And then there's a bunch more walking through the woods, and this like distorted voice starts playing. And I can only assume it's really distorted. The closed captioning doesn't give you anything with it, but I can only assume it's a distorted version of that Christian sermon that was playing in the car.
Yeah.
Because the voice, the voice is like real close almost.
It is. Yeah. It is that.
It's like a slowed down version.
But yeah, so they start filming a bunch more stuff, and it keeps happening where they're seeing like a bloody version and a not bloody version, and he's like, whoever it is filming this tree, and this like trail of blood is coming from the tree, but there's also this like white thing in the tree.
Oh, that's like it's like a piece of wood or something.
Yeah,
It's like a plank.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is, but they keep filming it, and it's like gone, and then it's there, and then it's gone, and it's there, and then the blood is there, and it's gone, and the blood's there, and it's
Real
gone.
art house.
Very, very art house. But that they start filming that, and then they stop, and then you see them get back in their car, and they start driving, and they're going like real fucking slow, and then they stop. And they're looking into this real dark part of the woods.
Yeah, this
fucked me up.
unsettled me because I was watching this at like 11 o'clock at night. So I was like,
So they start flashing their brights like into the forest, and they keep doing that, and they keep doing that, and then it's just like boom, 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 like on the door.
Did you not see the things in the video?
you see some fucking weird shit.
I think they're people. They look humanoid.
It's very hard to tell what you're
I didn't
seeing,
see
but I think
them.
you see just a faint outline of a couple things. I don't know. I was watching it on like
I saw them pop up. One, the brights flash. It's either 3 or 4 times.
right.
3 of the times they come back. The first time that he flashes the brights, you see nothing. Second time you see like a figure in the very far distance. Yeah, here. This is the part that I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
And then you'll see 2 more pop up throughout. It's
I'm not surprised. I was like looking really hard, but I was watching it on my big TV in my living room, and I'm like far back, so I couldn't like see it super well.
yeah, no, it's the 2 dark figures. It's where you were pointing, Mike, but a little bit to the left. And there's another one that pops out almost all the way to the left of the screen. You see those 2 shadows in the back? Yeah, those guys. And then there's gonna be another one.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that tree clearing.
That's okay.
No
yeah.
one wants to hear me talk about this though.
No, it's fine. That's what I thought, but I wasn't quite sure. That's why I didn't bring it up. So, anyways, yeah, they start banging on, like, you hear this like banging on the car, and you can tell that like it visibly like freaks them the fuck out. And then the rest of the video is them just fucking hoofing
Clapping
it,
cheeks.
clapping cheeks down the road, like straight just booking it.
Those cheeks be clapping. Look at
And
that.
that's really all the rest of this video is. There's not a whole lot of depth to the last part of this. I think the sermon starts playing, and it's like kind of glitchy and like a little more distorted, and
We're all gonna die.
yeah, it's actually really unsettling the way that the radio sounds in this part. I should mention. So if you want some spooky ambiance, this is definitely the part to watch.
I have a super random question about the sermon, and I don't think anyone looked it up. But did anyone look up any of the words from the sermon to see what it was?
Oh, it's the guy who made the show.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
okay. I wasn't sure because it reminds me of oh my God, Catholic school coming back. There was a fucking preacher that he was famous for delivering something known as hellfire and brimstone sermons, and they sounded very similar to what's playing in the background of this. So I'm not sure if there was some inspiration there, or they found like an audio, but if it's the creator,
Yeah,
that's fine.
If you read the comments in a lot of these, a lot of the actors and voice actors, for whatever reason, have been commenting on their videos and garnering
that's
a
kinda
lot
cool.
of attention.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Because they're usually either like one of the top like 3 or 5 comments, and they're like, "Hey, I had a blast working with you, Rob. Thanks for letting me do this." Like,
that's
I'm
fucking
just like,
cool.
interesting. Like, I've never seen that
You
in
don't
the
see
comments.
that.
Like,
That means they're amateurs, right?
I mean, I assume so, but I'll go into who the guy who made this is towards the end of this. And,
Okay.
Perfect. I guess it'll probably make more sense. But either way,
Sorry, I'm getting real into like the background stuff of this.
no, I get it. This was one of the better things I've watched in a long time, and one of the more unsettling things I've watched in a long time, and that includes like film and TV. Like, this
Okay.
is more spooky than
Yeah.
a lot of shit
movies.
that I've been watching lately. And you know me, I watch a ton of fucking
you
shit
and I,
all the
yeah.
time.
Again, if
Um,
anyone is coming in late or anything, this is called GREYLOCK. It's 12 videos on YouTube, and it's fucking great.
If anyone's coming,
If anyone's coming,
that's it.
end of thought.
Anyways, so we get to episode thrice, and this is a 7-minute video, and it's called Orientation Protocols. This video starts off with that classic, like, don't fucking film this shit or we're gonna fucking sue you, at the beginning, like, of a DVD or like VHS, you know? And then
Anti-piracy.
yeah, and then it switches over into like a screen for the U.S. Army, and it basically starts saying that this is a part of Project Stargate, and we're happy to work with a company called Simiodine.
Simiodine.
And we've put this together for your testing pleasures. Do not have sex with them.
Thank you.
I felt the voice coming out, and I was like, I'll just do it.
Oh, I can't.
So basically, I'm gonna try and make this as short as I can, because a lot of these videos are long and there's a lot of substance to them, but they can be summed up fairly shortly.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you want to go that route.
I will say the entire length of the video is important to like receive desired effects, and that's
Yes.
one thing I fucking love about this series is they don't waste time.
Yes, I
At
agree
all.
with that. And there's actually, I think there's only one video that I disagree with that, but overall,
fair.
the whole thing is good, and I feel like it warranted the lengths of some of the stuff.
100%.
All right. So that being said, this goes on to say This is for testing candidates with lots of questions, and it's basically there to kind of ease the nerves of those who are about to start testing with, simiodine. So they go into the background of what is being done here, and they say that it's a highly confidential parapsychology testing. Now, this testing is testing what we know as thought forms. Thought forms, otherwise known as a tulpa, are being used in this test.
I love how you just scooting right by that, huh? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you don't know what a tulpa is, it's a thought form. It's basically when you
Hate
manifest
something hard enough.
Well, it's when you manifest
Yeah.
something in such great emotion that your brain physically makes an entity
happen. Yep.
These
A lot of times it's seen as like a group think.
Yes.
One person can do it. A group of people can do it. There's a lot of different ways. And it basically says that these thought forms in this test are being essentially used as familiars or companions to the creators. Now,
But don't worry.
if you were to make a thought form, a third party, aka anyone else, could also see this thought form.
I'm a thought form.
You might be.
You probably are.
Jason thought me up when he was naked in bed once, and this was apparently ideal twink for him.
So this is too reminiscent of the one time a long time ago I did mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was real.
He was just
I remember
sitting
that.
in bed, and then I kicked in the door, and I couldn't speak at that time.
Jason, you aren't real.
I
And
was
I
just
go,
like
and
Donnie
then the
from
whole friend group
Progress.
just subconsciously all was like, "Oh, we remember this guy."
Yeah.
yeah, and now that's the only reason I'm here. That's why I don't have a birthday.
That's fair. So yeah, other people can see your tulpa when you make it. Basically, these are always manifested in a heightened state of enlightenment, and they take physical forms, but are more spiritual in nature. So think like ghosts or like phantoms, but they're not ghosts or phantoms. They act very similar to them, though. Now that being said, you can actually like talk to your thought forms via like a Ouija board.
Are these imaginary friends?
Pretty much.
Yeah, essentially.
Did we all have thought forms when we were younger?
I have to assume so because I mean, think of how like
How emotional we were?
right,
It was all pure emotion. That's
pure
all that was happening.
emotion and most naivete. Yeah. So
There's a. I need funding. Somebody get me funding for, for imaginary friends.
well, that's fun because Unit 13's purpose is to see these thought forms through, and they're basically here to benefit society. Project
How do I
Stargate
apply?
is being overseen by a man named Bernard Hayes.
What's his number?
4.
All right, hold on. I have a call to make.
And basically, Unit 13 and Project Stargate are being led by this man named Bernard Hayes. He's here to make creating thought forms easier for just anyone, really. Now, the reason they say that he's trying to make this easier is because a lot of people have a hard time manifesting a tulpa or a thought form on their own, because you have to be like really connected subconsciously to like how your thoughts and emotions are happening. So this guy invents what is called the thought form manifester. And
What was his name one more time?
Bernard Hayes.
Okay.
And basically with this invention, it was just really you pretty much just strap in and make a thought form at that point. They pose
strap on thought form.
Yeah. So we get to this closer to the end of the video, and they start to kind of be like, hey, these thought forms, they pose no threats to anyone when they manifest.
You're right.
And
They were
it's-
heavy-handed on that.
And when they start saying this, guess what happens? Classic
glitchies.
analog horror.
Glitch.
Glitchity glitch
Something not
glitcherson
right.
is happening a lot. And then I actually wrote down, I said, cue lots of glitching.
Yep.
But basically, yeah, they go really heavy-handed on saying they're not harmful. They won't do nothing. I don't like when you look at things like that behind me.
There's a shadow that
Um,
moved on the ceiling, and I thought it was like an animal or some shit. I'm like, what the
It's
fuck?
my tulpa.
It's Mike's tulpa. He pulled it out and he put it on the table.
It's huge.
With the tulpa.
Yeah, so they're not harmful. I'm air
Well-
quoting so fucking hard right now. And then they go, oh, but here's some side effects after using the device.
Right.
Tiredness, loss of balance, dizziness, insomnia, vomiting, episodes of temporary amnesia, mild hallucinations. And this will happen for 72 hours after your first session.
Have fun.
And then it's like at the end of the video, it goes, you need to exercise your mind. So please insert TF2 to learn more. Like it's the next video. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, that's the end of that video. All right. I have 2 more videos and this next one is longer. So again, I'm going to try and shorten it down a little bit, but episode 4 is 8 minutes long and it's called Unexpected Visitors. So the first shot that we see when this video starts is the outside of a house during the nighttime. And we see someone kind of like peering into the windows of this house. And then that same person that was peering into the house, you see a bunch of, you see them like with their flashlight at the ground and they're walking towards the house because whoever was in the house turned their lights off. Or at least the ones near the windows.
Fucking rude.
Yeah, right. I was trying to look in there.
Right. Is that what windows are for? So you can see in?
So the person gets up close to the windows and you kind of see like this back room with a light on and they're like kind of looking through the windows, going to another set of windows, looking through. You don't really see much. And then finally they set the camera down and it's kind of like facing the house a little bit, but it's on the ground. And you notice that they have now taken off the window frame of the window. Like they totally like the screen window.
Yeah.
And so
Gonna commit a burgle.
That's how I used to have to get
they
in my
straight up
college dorm.
B&E into the house, and it cuts to a scene of them just like kind of creeping around the house, like all slow like. And then it cuts to black, and so let me rewind just a second. So they're in the house, and then you see them like slowly like look up at this like doorway with that leads up the stairs. And then it cuts to black, and then you immediately just hear like bloody murder screaming and a dog barking, and like you can hear a struggle happening, like punching and stabbing and like all this shit, and just horrific screaming. It's just not great. So then it cuts back to the person, and they're just like outside walking away from the house.
Like nothing happened. Humpty Dumpty Dum.
Yeah, literally like nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, it cuts to our favorite boy, Max Headroom.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
totally
that.
forgot he was in this.
I saw him, but I almost messaged you. I was
Yeah.
like, boy.
Yeah, and so he's just like it's
Ride
like a
the wave.
commercial from God knows when, but there's just a commercial of Max
Yeah, it's
Headroom, and then it's like
the 80s, right?
Yeah.
it's sometime in the 80s, and then it's just like by the way, emergency broadcast system screen happens, and they're like, this is an alert for a mass amount of home invaders in your area.
Oh yeah.
Please lock your doors and
Lots of
make sure
B&Es.
you fucking can not,
Get
make sure you can
broken.
protect yourself if you can.
Yeah, it
Um,
mentions there was like a strain of like 45.
Yeah,
It's a
B&Es or
fuckload of
something.
like
B&Es.
45 breaking and enterings, all perpetrated by like one group of people or something.
Yeah, they say they're like
I love that
anti-American
they know
terrorist
that.
groups or something.
They love that they know it's dedicated to one group of people, but they can't.
I think I know why they did that.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, we'll go over that I think a little later.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not 100%. This one, I will say this. For as much as we can look into this stuff, I think there's a lot of speculation to be done on this because I feel like there's got to be another season of this coming out at some
There has
point
to be.
because there's a lot of questions that I still have
Yeah.
that I don't
Unless
think
this is
anybody's
just-
really hit or said anything
This
about.
might just be like a one-off. Like I will say I do love those stories that it's like a quick, like you open the window to like this whole other universe for a quick second
Mhm.
and then it just shuts. Like there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
explanations for stuff. You just get to experience part of it for a second, then we're done. So I don't know if there's gonna be more after this, but I would appreciate it.
I mean, I think it hits harder if they don't make another season.
That's
but
what I think.
I don't know.
But I
We'll
love.
see.
Yeah, well, let's keep going forward.
So during this broadcast system, they say that these people have no like possible description, which I thought was kind of creepy. They're like, yeah, they're unrecognizable. There's no like we don't have a description of any of them. And then so after you hear that, it cuts back to someone filming outside of their like home window, and I want to say it's the same from before, but I don't know if it is because what happens is all of a sudden like they're just like filming outside. This hand grabs the window,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
the
like,
gloved hand.
and then like it's just like screaming, and the alert signal happening, and you just
Yeah.
hear
'cause
that
they were-
everywhere.
They were filming outside. I think there was like noises, like growlings or something outside.
You heard something weird
Yeah.
outside.
I
I
remember
assume
that.
it's a different person filming at that
Yeah,
point.
I
but,
think it's different.
but yeah, they're filming out their window. A hand grabs the window, and then it just like, you hear this like mass murder happening. You hear the emergency broadcast happening, and then it starts to glitch out, and we get some really weird images. I like was trying to pause on all of them the best I could, but there
There's
was
a
like
lot.
this really fleshy looking face. Like it's like, I don't know, got no
Oh,
features almost.
I think I might be.
You
able to
can
go more
literally
into
see
that.
like somebody being like stabbed at one point. And then there's like this like really fucked up skull.
Mhm.
There's just a bunch of really weird imagery that
A lot
happens
of
at
body
the end
horror.
Lots
of that. Lots
of body horror.
horror. And I'm
I
here
can
for
explain
it.
a lot of that for in my videos.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So my last video is video number 5, and it's 3.5 minutes. It's called "Not Here, Not Now, and Not Anymore." And this video is kind of crazy, actually. So basically, what happens is we start with this blank screen, and we just hear 2 women talking, and they're like talking about this lady's like baby daddy, and then we learn that this someone is at a doctor's visit, and they're checking on the health of her baby because she's pregnant. So we see a shot of like the like ultrasound like machine, and we're basically just looking at that screen, and we see the baby in the womb, and then they're like, oh, let's like get some like measurements, let's check it out, let's see what's going on with the baby. And then as soon as they go to like actually start like inspecting the baby, it starts fucking glitching out super hard. This crazy noise happens, and then the baby is no longer in the womb. And we're looking
She's
at
gone.
we're looking at the womb. There's nothing in there.
It's empty.
And the doctor's like, well, I can't seem to find the baby. Like,
Something every mother wants to hear. I can't find the baby.
It's gone.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I reassure, she's like very reassuring. She's like, oh, it's in there for sure. It just happens.
She's like,
sometimes.
it's probably the machine, and babies like to hide,
Denial.
which does happen. It took a while to find our kid in there. They just be moving around.
Are you sure
Wow.
you have a child?
It's a tulpa.
Oh, shit.
Oh God, she's a tulpa.
So the video goes black, and you hear the doctor like step out, and she's like saying something to some other like nurse or doctor or someone, and then the woman in the video,
it gets like confrontational sounding out there. Like they're like, "What the fuck do you mean?"
yeah, and you can hear this like woman
Can
like
confirm
starting
that
to
is
like
normal.
breathe heavily and like having like full blown like she is about to have a full blown panic attack.
Yeah.
And then it just like blacks out. It switches over to this cut of a newspaper, and we see this name, Tiffany Crisaldi, smack dab in the middle of this thing. And it's really hard to see, but thankfully someone in the YouTube comments transcribed it for the best they could. So it says Tiffany Marie Elaine Crisaldi, elementary school teacher 29 of Rose Pine Drive. Adams died unexpectedly Monday morning. She had suffered tremendously after the sudden loss of her unborn son, Maxwell
Oh,
Marsh,
right.
on March 31st. She was unable to live with the heartache any longer. She was the only child of Harrison and Kathleen Crisaldi. She attended school in Adams, Massachusetts, graduated, blah, blah, blah. A lot of this shit is pretty illegible, like moving forward. And it's like safe to assume that they're talking about this guy, Alexander Marsh, who they were dating. And yeah, he was the father of the baby and all that shit. So basically the video ends here. But something that I wanted to bring up is that I was reading the comments of the YouTube, and there was a really good theory that I was seeing thrown around on this episode because, just knowing everything that we've seen so far, it sounds like this lady wanted to have a child so bad that it's very potential that it was a thought form, and that essentially when like the doctors went to prove its existence, it just fucking blipped right out of reality.
Ooh, I love that.
So just something to keep in the back of your mind as we continue forward with these videos, because another thing that actually I think helps prove that theory is the fact that she mentions in one of the, like when she's talking to the doctor, she mentions throwing up.
Okay.
And that could be
a morning sickness.
Well, Yes,
One of the side
but
effects.
it's a side
Or-
effect of the fucking thought device.
It's both.
yeah,
And
so
that is
She also seemed like,
ooh,
what's
yeah.
the word I'm looking for? Not nervous, but
she was kind of
she was like, oh, do you have like a
yeah.
name for him? And he's like, no, not yet. Like,
no.
seemed very like weirded out to be there. And the doctor, whoever asking her questions.
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
think of that. That's a good theory. I like that.
Yeah, it's
I do like that.
pretty wild. It's the
I have another theory, which
a game theory.
that one makes more sense than my theory, but
But
Yeah.
he's still going to tell you his later.
Yeah, I will.
anyways.
anyway.
Well, but yeah, that's the end of my videos. Pretty crazy stuff so far. Honestly, really great
Yeah.
stuff.
a lot of things that you need to start accepting as reality real quick. I
Yeah.
will say that. Okay, cool. After that's what, video 5.
Mhm.
So we go into video 6, which is called Sleeping Dogs.
Dog. Big dog.
And this one is right off the bat, it's about 10 minutes long. It's a
I
little bit longer.
enjoyed this one.
This was a great one. I
Mhm.
loved all of my videos. I love the whole fucking series, but either way. So this video begins with a clip of Dr. Bernard T. Hayes, and he is making a speech.
we
at-
know that name.
We
Buttnard?
do. We do know Dr.
Buttnard.
Bernard. Dr. Buttnards.
Wait, who's the one
Fart
doctor? Dr. Marcus Fartbutt. Yeah.
Dr. Marcus Fartbutt.
The one we can't get past.
He hasn't been brought up in a while.
He has not, but you just made sure he doesn't die.
He's
He's
my
a
tulpa.
Okay, so this is Bernard T. Hayes, Dr. Bernard T. Hayes making a speech at the North American Council of Thought in New York City in 1981. And it's literally just an excerpt of a speech for like 20 seconds or something. And it goes over more of the tropes that we've seen earlier, so I'm not going to play it or go over it. After this, it hard cuts to a series of messages from someone named Paul Morelli. And apparently he was the foreman of the Morelli Construction and Mining Company. And these voicemails or messages take place between March 24th to March 30th in 1987. And they all occur around the area of Mount GREYLOCK. And so these, again, messages are left by Paul Morelli, and they're being accessed by somebody named Frank Porter. And we get the F Porter on screen. Like there's a whole bunch of, you have to kind of assume his name is Frank after reading a bunch of the things here. You see F Porter, and that kind of confirms that it is. Either way,
Frank Furter.
Frank Furter.
Ooh.
The messages begin out of concern for the workers as they begin falling. Like, I don't want to say falling ill, but like they're just not feeling great. They're just not feeling themselves. They're starting to
They're just doing a little sick.
they're just doing a tiny sick, itty bitty sick,
A little bit of sick.
just a little bit. So that more and more of them start falling ill, and this is a concern that's expressed by Paul Morelli. And it's noted that the illnesses start as they mine further into this mountain. Now, I do have to say this company was hired to mine into this mountain, or Mount GREYLOCK.
Mhm.
When they start doing that, they discover like this tunnel that is like in the center of the fucking mountain. No one knew it was there, but they stumble upon it, and
Mel did.
apparently it's filled with old weapons and trinkets from like,
Yeah.
they have no idea when. They just know
This
that they're
shit's
old as fuck.
old, dog.
Right. Well, apparently there somebody on the crew, on one of the workman crew, this is how he said it. He goes, he used to dabble in archaeology shit.
It's on the weekends.
Yeah, just, hobbies. He says that they're going to have him take a look in the tunnels. Another update comes across saying that the workers' food is rotting. And as it does, they fall deeper into some illnesses. Some actually become unresponsive to where they won't answer to their names or any stimulus whatsoever.
I know a fucking Dead Space situation when I see one.
Make us whole, Isaac. Paul, the guy who's leaving these messages, he becomes more and more frantic over the course of these messages.
Understandably.
Until eventually he's laughing maniacally. He's doing the evil lost my mind laughed.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Kind of like that, yeah. And you can definitely tell he's descending into madness for fucking sure. After all of this, so while all this is going on, you see there's a portrait in the background with the face blacked out. I could only assume that that was Paul as going through. Oh, you don't need to click anything. He's right there. Finally, after all of these things are gone through, the portrait is revealed, and we see what Paul actually looks like after being subjected to all of this, and it is fucking horrendous. It's almost like his eyelids fell off and his lips fell off, and
it looks very skeletal.
It's like his skin
It's
is
leprous.
falling the fuck off. Yeah, he looks like a leper.
Why he look kind of like Simon Pegg in that picture?
I see it. I totally see it.
Holy shit! It is Simon Pegg.
I don't know.
For a split second, I thought Simon Pegg was Simon Cowell, and I'm like, I don't see it.
Well, I always thought this one looks like fucking what's his name from The Walking Dead.
Oh my god!
Carl?
No, it's Carl's dad.
The main guy, yeah.
Carl's dad. Who the I forget his name, but yeah, that looks
Rick?
just like
Rick,
Rick.
yeah.
Rick Grimes?
Rick Grimes.
Rickethy?
So yeah, we see Paul's face, the guy who's been leaving these messages, and it's like he got attacked by a bunch of bandits wielding acid. Like it's just his face is melted. There's no skin on his lips whatsoever. You can see his teeth and his mandibles. It's fucked up.
I will say this is the point in the video where everything I thought I knew, now I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything got flipped on its head.
I was just
for
like,
sure.
what the fuck is happening now?
They definitely delved into the mountain of madness.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. If you weren't going to, I was going to make the reference. This is fucking indicative of Mountains of Madness. This is like, there has to be inspiration.
I
drawn from
love
that.
this because one of my favorite tropes is unsuspecting crew goes into thing.
Mining crew
Shit happens.
finds cave full of
Fucking
fucked
love
up
it.
shit. Oh,
I love that trope
Yes,
so
yes,
much.
yes.
Every time it's done, I'm fucking here for it. Dead Space,
yeah.
Aliens.
Yes. It gets me every time.
Fucking love it. Predator, I guess you could say is
Basically,
like that.
the premise is
Event
you're not
Horizon.
supposed to be here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's just all it is. And these people are not supposed to be here. Obviously, judging by this fucking man's face. Clinky, clinky.
Yeah, they start mentioning things like, because he starts leaving these messages. In the messages, he's like, "Oh, my crew is, they're falling ill. Like they're not looking so good. They're getting all fucky and blah blah blah."
And I will say
It's
this
just over time is just creepy.
This
I
video
love it
does
so much.
show the like the deterioration of people. It shows like the name of the worker
Yeah.
beforehand, like when they got hired, and then after.
It also tells you like
did
some of the
this.
like issues they're having. Like like bit a dude's ear off. Got
Yes.
very hostile for
another
no
one.
reason.
All of them.
One of them
are-
has like psychic abilities. I think it says like the power
Yeah.
of persuasion.
One of them can vomit acid or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
But all of them, not a single one of them.
Doug just chimes in. Like, yeah. I'm here too. I'm here
Well,
too.
he was
no
like,
doubt.
I like the way they said it. He's like, oh yeah, he vomited like highly acidic vomit, and it had like what was the word they used? They're like, yeah, it had like restraining gas or like you remember?
Oh yeah, it was like
It was like noxious fumes or something.
It was almost like both. The implication essentially was that the vomit was corrosive, but it was also the fumes from the vomit
We're
were
going to knock you
noxious.
out.
Right? Like they were just either knock you out or fucking kill you. Like
yeah, I'm here.
sure, yeah, and also Doug's here. But yeah, there's all these different weird, uncanny abilities that come with these fucked up transformations we learn about. But we do, like, this is the last thing we learn is that Paul himself was actually undergoing all of these symptoms throughout his entire time leaving these messages, which leads us to believe, do we believe, like, all of the reports he was saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next video.
Next video.
love that
Next
for
one
us.
is video 7. This one's called Back to Normal. And it's anything but this is very, very simple. It's like a minute and a half or sorry, this one, yeah, minute and a half on the dot. Damn. This is simply just a local news broadcast hosted by someone named Don Wright. And he says that this is following up with the home invasion newscast. And they're saying that the home invaders were part of an, quote, anti-America militia group.
Yeah.
And then also starts to state that things will be returning to normalcy for Berkshire County.
Mhm. I can't tell. Also, I can't tell. This video throws me off a little bit because it's very good looking. It looks like a legitimate 90s like news anchor.
100%.
And I can't tell if he was just lucky enough to find footage.
He might have found stock footage.
That or like he's
or
just
AI
very
was
good.
on it.
I don't know if it's AI. I wonder if he just got an actor. But like that just looks too good.
It really does.
The
like,
lighting on the dude. Like,
my thing is I can't tell if it's the filter put over it that makes it look
That's what I'm
slightly off,
saying, yeah.
or if it's the AI generation that
I don't
makes
think
it slightly
it's.
off.
I don't think this is AI.
I don't think it is either, but I mean, it's just something feels off about it. I don't know. Either way, if it's not AI, good job finding this and tying it in. Holy shit.
I just don't know.
For all I know, this could be the video the creator found to inspire a lot of
I
this.
think just
Holy shit.
tulpa. A lot of the video, I'm pretty sure, was filmed with real people.
Okay, perfect.
Well, no, that's what we're talking about. Like, I'm pretty sure this is an
kinda
actor.
came in.
Yeah. Pretty sure this is an actor, but this looks like a legit old news.
Legit. Yeah.
That's actually one of the best things about this is they do almost all of the effects right. Like,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
you see a lot of glitchy and like degradation on like VHSs.
Like just the way this guy
but,
is like dressed, like everything looks like it's from the way he's dressed,
Yeah.
the lighting on his fucking brows and everything.
Yeah.
Very old school.
they
90s.
do a good job of
Very
actually
good.
getting the right vibe of the era and how a VHS would
100%.
actually act.
Mhm.
I
'Cause
want to
there's a-
touch on that more later. For
All right, cool.
Fucking sure. Absolutely. Because that's a draw for me. But so this video with this news anchor that we are all gushing over currently.
He's so hot.
He's so fucking hot.
Have my baby.
Have my tulpa.
But he basically goes on to explain that these break-ins were done by and large by a group that is quote unquote anti-America militia group. He starts stating that things are going to start returning to normal in Berkshire County. And the video starts ending, but it focuses on him saying back to normal, back to normal,
Yeah.
back to normal. And then
Right.
he repeats it. It's over and over again, but it slows down. And eventually it gets real slow and it shows a mutated Siamese twin baby.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that video is real. Like
I
that's
could tell you with this one. This one is the hardest one for me to be like, was this pulled straight from a fucking newscaster and all?
no, very end. I'm
Oh, I
talking about the
know, yeah.
Siamese twin baby.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know if it's real, but it looks very real. I know birth defects happen all the time. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be some like old footage.
That's what
for
I'm
sure.
thinking. That's old footage of like they used to film medical miracles all the time and put them on display as freak shows, like all the fucking time. Not saying it's right, not saying you should. That's just what happened. And I think this might be one of those pieces of footage.
It might be AI. It's moving kind of funny.
I mean, how is a baby conjoined twin supposed to move?
That's what I'm saying is
I
that
don't
like
know.
if you watch that clip,
I'm not sure.
you'll be able to see like the movements of the eyes, fingers, mouth, and everything. I almost feel like you can tell if it's an AI generated thing because like those things don't move like humans should.
They almost breathe, like instead of move.
Yeah. The video at the end of this, it looks real. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and it fooled me. But either way, holy shit, good
leave
job.
a comment in the comments below.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Like, subscribe, ring that fucking bell.
Have sex with my dog. No, don't do that.
Whoa, wow.
A little late on that. The beep goes in the thing that you said.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yes.
We here at Deluded do not condone any type of animal cruelty
Dog
whatsoever. No, God, no, hell no.
Jason just really.
Sometimes the filter on my brain goes away, and you know it's unfortunate, but we just have to get through it.
You heard it here first, y'all.
What the fuck was I talking about? before I went
Siamese
there?
baby.
Siamese baby devolved into chaos. Okay, anyway,
Dog stuff.
that is the very, very end of of the Back to Normal video. I
How do
need
we
to
move
make this
past that?
very clear.
It does end
I need to make
on.
this very clear.
It does
Please
end on.
don't do that.
It ends on the newscaster's face, and his face
Oh,
is like
yeah.
half like a skeleton,
It
and it
turns
just
into like a
says
skull.
liar. Yeah.
Yeah, and it says liar on it, and this essentially says from him reporting the news that things are returning to normal is a fucking lie.
Liar.
And we know it. But that's the end of that video. We move right on to video 8 called Odds and Ends, and this is literally right after the newscast with what the fuck his name is, Don Wright. Don Wright. It picks up right after that. It glitches out and it goes to like a commercial screen, shows you what's coming next. And it starts with a GBS executive named Alan Rosenbaum. Who is essentially just fucking reaming out some other executives.
He is an asshole.
He is an asshole. Fuck this guy. And he's speaking to Don Wright. Sorry, not Don Wright. The producers of the Don Wright show, or Don Wright Tonight is what it's called, I believe. And it's regarding the hijacked broadcast. One producer, Liam Hollander, claims that he was unable to reach Don Wright following the broadcast, but this fucking asshole, Alan Rosenbaum, basically goes like, well, did you go to his house? And he's like, all right, well, go to his fucking house. And he just starts berating him and screaming at him. And he threatens to fire him if he doesn't. So the video then cuts to an audio diary from someone named Arnold Eugene Rivers. Now, I do have to say, this video is 20 minutes long.
Oh,
it's 20 minutes long. So I'm gonna do my best to condense and compress.
Condense me, daddy.
Condense me, daddy.
Have sex with me.
I'm so sorry, guys. This is we're on several tonight. So it cuts to an audio diary of someone named Arnold Eugene Rivers, who is involved with the Morelli Construction and Mining Company. Now, you guys might remember me talking about one of the random ass workers who has a background in archaeology. Randomly. Well, this is that guy.
Neat.
This is the archaeologist who's moonlight or daylighting as a Morelli construction worker.
He does.
Apparently. So he reports that he came across some ancient artifacts in the tunnels under Mount Greylock. It cuts to commercial. So one of the tropes of this is you're going to hear a lot of this archaeologist, construction worker, Arnold Eugene Rivers. You're going to hear a lot from him intermittently as we go through some other stuff in this video. So the video cuts over to a commercial of, it's not a commercial. It's more like it's like late night TV. Like, you want to learn something in between porn? Like some shit like that.
I do.
Right. And it's this like, did you know it's about two planets colliding and it's just about
the moon.
the formation of the moon,
Yeah.
right? And that does have a lot to
when
do.
worlds collide.
This has a lot to do with this whole all the lore for this. And so it shows a planet colliding with Earth, creating the moon, and then we cut again. We get a phone call between one of the execs,
The producer.
or one of the producers. Yes,
Yeah, because
what's his name? Hollander.
The president basically is like,
Colin
why can't we find...
Liam
Colander.
Collender. Colin Collender.
Colin
No,
Colander.
Liam Hollander is the producer I'm talking about.
Yeah, because the president was like, where's Don? We can't find Don. He's like,
Yeah.
I left him multiple voicemails.
Messages.
He's not
We looked
answering.
for him.
Have you gone to his house? No. Go to his fucking house.
Or
And
I'll
he's like,
fire you.
He's like, go to his fucking house and pull him out by his fucking ears if you
Yeah,
have to.
yeah.
Or else I'll fire ass. And
Oh,
Liam's
he's an
like,
asshole.
okay.
I severely downplayed how much of an asshole this guy is.
Yep.
You are correct.
Liam's just like,
Is that how he sounded? Was he like,
He communicates through different tones of coming. If
I
it's
cummed?
you gotta tell if it's like a high cum or a low cum.
All right, so real quick, I have to share this story. There is a
This is going off the rails.
Yeah, I
I
wanna
love
say
it.
how this goes.
there's a billboard near my house right now that is for Delta Sonic, and it says caught crumbing in the car. And I can't go past it without being
Because
just
you know,
like coming.
you know whoever made that
Coming.
watches porn like a lot.
Okay, well, to be fair, there's a picture of a child on this billboard, and it says caught crumbing in the car. Because
They didn't think of
But
this.
you understand that is a very common like
I get it.
porn
Trust
headline,
me.
right?
I can't not be like, it's just a billboard for coming. Like,
it is. It's just a
it's
coming,
unfortunate,
it's a
but it's
coming billboard.
very funny.
They did not think that one through.
Delta
No, they did
Sonic,
not.
you guys got to fire your PR person or pay them more. One of the two. I don't know.
Give him more money. It's pretty funny.
It is. It's working.
I got caught crumbing.
The crumb.
I crumbed my pants.
Okay, where was I? Oh, right. So, ancient artifacts. We find out that this guy, Arnold, is the archaeologist that works for Morelli Construction and Mining, and he had a very vested interest in what is actually in these tunnels. And so he, after we get these planets, I know this is fucking chaos incarnate. These planets, we show the formation of the moon for some fucking reason. It will make sense, I think. We get a phone call between Liam Hollander and dispatcher Carey of the Adams Police Department as he reports a break-in at Don Wright's house before the video, and it's going back and forth, and it's saying like, yeah, no, I haven't seen him. I'm at his house, but I mean the door's open, all the shit's wrong. I don't know. Oh, and then he reports Don Wright's body.
I found Don.
Found him. We found out why he's not answering his phone.
Found that body.
Yeah. So we get a quick revelation that Don is dead.
And he looks just like the picture from the last one where his face is like skull.
The skull. Yeah,
he looks exactly like that.
It's the same like glitchy effects that you saw in the last video, the back to normal video. And yeah, it's got the same. It's like his lips were ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just looks fucked up, half skeleton. So after this,
all happy.
We go right back to Arnold Eugene Rivers' log, or his slew of messages, or whatever it is.
Whose log?
Arnold Eugene Rivers.
Nice.
Fat log.
The fattest log.
Vegan log.
Vegan log. And so we find out that a lot of people start quitting the project, and we get another hard cut to other members of Morelli's crew who were now very malformed. And we're going to start going down the line of not all of them, but all the affected individuals on Morelli's crew. And it's going to show the before and afters. It's going to show what they looked like when they joined the crew. And then it's going to look like what they looked like after they came back from fucking Mount Greylock. Spoiler alert, none of it is good. I will say the first one just looks like someone picked up a crack addiction. But after that, it's like skin removal, like you're just bleeding constantly from your urethra, like shit like that. Just horrendous.
My anus is bleeding.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we look at all of those, and we go back to Rivers' log. It continues as he mentions that his employer accepted his second refusal after hanging up. And that was important.
His refusal, because he's like, I don't want to go back.
I don't want to go back.
And I've seen what happens. He's like, I know. He's like,
Yep.
I've seen some of the shit that's down there. It doesn't make sense because he's like, we have stuff from like, he's like, there's runes and shit down there from like the Chinese, the Vikings, and shit like this, all from way before when people have been here. So he's like, it doesn't make sense that all these artifacts and shit are here. It just does not make sense.
And the best part, I forget, what was the name of the people that he said? Really fucking old, like 11,000 BCE. No, it was like, it was, shitting ass. I didn't write it down. I should have written it down. It was super interesting. There's a name that describes a group of people that existed in like 11,000 BCE. Had to have been like cavemen or like Homo erectus previous.
Oh my God, I remember the fucking
You know
word.
what I'm talking about?
Neanderthal.
They refer to a group of people that existed way the fuck back when. They're like the earliest known like versions of humans that existed. And they found they found artifacts, they found carvings or something in this tunnel that basically explains that those people were here, as well as almost every other time period of people leading up to a certain point in time. And it's fucking crazy.
He also mentions that there's like carvings and shit. He's like, I don't even know what these are. These aren't even recognizable.
Idea. And he's super excited and he's freaking out about it. But like, yeah, they don't know what they are. They don't know why all these things exist here. And continues again. And like I said, his employer accepts his second refusal, which means he tried to refuse one time and they sent him back. Now this is the second time doing it. So Rivers then addresses the strange occurrences, which included people falling from the sky. By the way, dead bodies falling from the sky. There was a lot of different things that were going on. There's these random like noises you hear in your head. And eventually, like I said, Rivers essentially says like, my health is way more fucking important than this. I'm not doing this anymore. So they accept it. He talks about the dead bodies falling out of the sky. And then he goes on to say he made contact with a private investigator named Jim Melgren, who was also investigating the phenomena. However, at the very end of this video, we get a little stop, a little quiet, and then we hear that Rivers is attacked and killed. So, the very end of this, we see Rivers is freaked the fuck out. He's hiding in his closet, and he's saying, like, I've sent all of this information to someone named Jim Melgren.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to die, but if this happens, like, go talk to him. Like, please help me, though. And you hear, like, 6 different voices happening from the other side of the door. It's really creepy because it morphs into each one of the voices, which it implies that there's only one thing on the other side of the door making all 6 of those noises. And then eventually you hear police open up, like the police are here. Yeah. And he was like, oh my God. And then the doors open and the most
very scary
horrendous jump scare to happen to anybody at 12:43 at night happens. I pissed my pants a little bit, but yeah, this like masked figure like throws the doors open, and as soon as it enters frame, you get the glitches and it cuts to black and a bunch of screaming happens, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, I think it's good to put out there too. Like right in the beginning of this video, he's even like, I'm only recording this because I think my life is.
He's like, my time is
yes,
up.
Thank you. Yeah, he notices people watching him, and that's the only reason he started working with Jim Melgren is because he's like, I need somebody else on this because I think I'm fucked at this point.
It's usually the government that's gonna like fuck someone that's like about to info dump like this, but no.
It's just amazing that they can like get together and like towards the same goal to do something like that.
Tulpas, am I right?
Tulpas. It's just fucked up, but that's the
can't
end.
Can't live with him, can't live without him, I guess.
Don't want to live anywhere near him. But yeah, that's the end of my last video.
My last video and your last video.
Fucking in your fire.
It's my turn now.
It is your turn.
So,
first, a word from our sponsors. What are you drinking? Oh, that was Tulpa's fucking.
That was Tulpa fucking.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking? There's a bottle here and it's empty.
Not a sponsor.
Mike is not a sponsor.
I actually don't know what we're drinking.
Yeah, can I see that?
Yeah. Here, you tell us.
We're drinking Teeling whiskey, single pot still.
Yep.
Tiefling?
It's Irish whiskey, which
it is.
I'm not the biggest fan of Irish whiskey.
I love Irish whiskey.
I
used to like Irish whiskey.
I know you did.
The downside with me and Irish whiskey is they all taste the same. It's just a varying level of that
peat moss,
straight burn alcohol taste and the flavor of peat moss. Like
I don't get that.
You only like if you drink like fucking Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew compared to this, they taste the same. It's just Tullamore Dew is going to be a little bit more alcohol.
How about Jameson?
Yeah.
Same?
It's just a little bit more alcohol.
Your taste buds are broken.
I do like Irish whiskey, but I noticed that when I drink Irish whiskey, my tolerance for fuckery goes way, way down. And I become just no filter fucking.
I think that's why
like,
you and
I'm gonna fight you kind of.
I think that's why you and I feed each other on Irish whiskey. It's not good.
Well, we used to sit there and play board games and just drink Irish whiskey and
all the time.
I don't know how we made it through those nights, but
I don't know how we're still friends.
Now we're doing a podcast.
Me, on the other hand, Irish whiskey gives me the worst headaches.
The worst shits?
Well,
and shits, yeah.
We are drinking the worst headache then. No, it's Teeling single pot still. It
tastes good.
Fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's expensive. It's normally like about $80, but it was on super sale at Benny's for $30.
Nice.
Super sale.
Super sale.
So when you hear the clink, drink. Anyway, video number 9 is called Trojan Technology. And basically it starts off with a time frame.
We need not safe for work for this, right?
Oh, because the fucking.
Because the condoms.
Yes, yes.
The little Roman helmet dudes.
Nisfa.
What?
Nisfa, not safe for work.
Oh, okay.
So it starts off with a date of December 13th, 1963. This is basically a broadcast that's being sent out to like all Americans. It's like one of those
America.
It's just a general like generic broadcast, and it's announcing
State
the
of the
rollout.
Union.
Yeah, it's something like that, and it's announcing the rollout of the National Access Initiative, the NAI. This is going to sound the NAI. This is probably going to sound familiar to something in real life by the end here, but basically, it's an old broadcast from the government. They're announcing that with this new program, if you are eligible, the government will send you a package with a bunch of tech in it. They'll send you a package with like TVs, cameras, phones, you name it. They'll send it to you. Purpose of this is to help Americans stay connected with each other and have access to important broadcasts and communications that will help them in bad situations. The broadcast that mentions how President Johnson basically is sponsoring this program and is partnering with Semiodyne USA. Hey, we know those guys.
I heard about that.
I heard about them. They're the guys that run the fucking tulpa machine.
Right.
The company is Semiodyne.
Wait, sorry. Keep going.
Semiodyne is basically spearheading this whole campaign.
Project Stargate.
Stargate, yes. We get some news articles that flash up on screen now as well. They're like newspapers about President Kennedy's assassination. We get two of them. We get one that says President Kennedy says no to Semiodyne, and then and is disapproving of the NAI, which is again that National Access Initiative. And then we get another one that says Kennedy's been assassinated. So
Oh no!
it's kind of easy to put two and two together. At the end of that one, you see Kennedy's been assassinated. Lyndon B. Johnson is set to become president.
We're getting the fucking the James Dean presidency.
We're in the Deanoverse.
Shit.
So, we then hear from the president of Semiodyne, whose name is Percival C. Rothwell. Basically, he's giving one of those like, generic, like, business speeches about how this is going to be beneficial for Americans. He mentions things like, oh, did you know that like 30% of Americans don't have a TV in their home and 25% still don't have a phone? And he's like, we want to give this technology to everybody because it's going to help you stay connected with your fellow man. It's going to help you if there's emergencies so we can contact you. That generic, like, I'm a good business, which doesn't exist ever.
Does not exist.
No. And while this speech is happening, we're getting cuts to like random recordings inside of people's homes. It's kind of like recordings from people's, like, you know how you'll have like those people have those like security cameras in their houses in like the corners or whatever. It's like that kind of stuff. And it's just random. They're like nothing's really going on in these recordings. It seems like these recordings are live too. It gives off that kind of vibe. So we get audio from who I am assuming is Rothwell. It doesn't really say that. But he's talking about how someone is trying to expose Semiodyne. And he's like, this motherfucker's trying to expose us. Like, this can't happen. This won't happen. And he's like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. You know, we don't have to worry about it. This guy's pissed off other people too. He rejected Operation Northwoods. And there is a big problem with the Federal Reserve. And that's pretty much the only information they go into on that one. So we cut to more home footage. And there's the footage that we cut to is a wall. And on the wall, it says the NAI program was a trap. They are watching and listening. Fuck LBJ. Fuck Semiodyne.
Lyndon B. Johnson?
I won't be your lab rat anymore. TLDR.
This is the 80s.
In this. Well, no, this is not the 80s. 80s was Reagan.
Oh, when did this take place? Sorry, I peed and came back, and I don't know what's
this
going
takes
on.
place in...
Sorry, I peed.
I peed. This takes place in the 60s. TLDR for you since you left and came back. NAI, National Access Initiative.
Yep.
Semiodyne wants to give tech to all American homes.
Okay.
Give them computers, phones, cameras, all that shit.
Okay.
Kennedy was like, no, fuck you, Semiodyne, fuck the NAI. and he got assassinated, and now Johnson is the president. He's like, I'm all for it, baby.
I got it.
Please don't kill me. But we get some glitching, and then we just get the random video footage of these cult figures that are just standing around, literally like in the forest at night. It's like a bunch of masked people just chilling there. And we cut back to the broadcast, and it's stating that the initiative will do a slow rollout and start in key towns, specific towns. And then we cut to video of while this is going on as well. There's another video that apparently freaked Doug out a lot of like these like closet doors
Why you gotta do me like that?
It's like these closet doors that open, and in front of the closet doors is just this like giant silhouette of this like just giant.
That's a big
human
one.
Oh
boat
yeah,
thing.
it's just unsettling. It
Very.
just makes you feel like you get that like gross feeling
It's not like
in your
a
stomach.
quick terror. It's
Yeah.
like it's the terror that
It's
keep-
Skinamarink.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got Skinamarinked. So then we also cut to this video of what looks like a little girl's room. And the reason I say that is you'll find out, but it's like a desk and with a computer at it. And you just see this like skeletal figure that just kind of like appears out of the shadow. And his voice is fucking creepy.
Things that I
Yeah.
always thought like when I was a child would
Yes.
happen.
We're in the
Where
corner
you're
of the
like-
room.
You're like, I see, like, you know, it's your clothes on,
On
a
the
chair,
chair,
but
yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
why-
That's a demon.
what is that?
There's no reason that's not a
And
demon.
so this thing is in the corner, and it's like a skeletal figure, and it's just like, Katie, wake up. And she wakes up. Yeah.
I need a glass of water.
My
throat.
And she wakes up and she's just like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, I'm your imaginary friend. She's like, I don't remember making you. He's like, well, you did. And
Well.
she's like, oh, I probably made you at that doctor guy's place, didn't I? And he's like, yep,
sure.
for sure.
How would he know that?
Yeah. And so, and I think that's supposed to be referencing back to the Tulpa video. She
Mhm.
said doctor place. I think this is a Tulpa. But
I'm so,
So
you're
he's
putting,
like-
you're
he's
putting
like-
connections
he's
together,
like,
Mike.
let's play or whatever. She's like, okay, fine, I guess. Like, she doesn't seem too upset about it. And he's just like, I got your glasses. She's like, why do you got them? And he's like, oh, they were dirty, so I cleaned them for you. She's like, oh, all right, cool. Can I have them? He's like, yeah. You gotta come to me to get your glasses. And she's like, ugh, fine. She gets up, and he's just like, little closer now.
Oh, hello.
Come on,
If
a
there's
little
one
closer
thing
now.
I know,
Just a wee bit closer. You're so
About
close. You're right there.
Little Red Riding Hood and the big bad wolf.
Come here, you little bitch.
He's
a little closer now.
No, he's just come on right there, and he's like, all right,
God.
awesome. And then, it
Yep,
cuts away,
yep,
and there's just a blood
yep.
curdling scream.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the video goes back out, and there's just blood all over the fucking camera.
It's
But no
funny because
skin
it,
or bones,
it
right?
almost like I
Wait, what?
no,
But
it's,
no skin, right? Or
No, you don't
bones?
see anything. Everything's gone.
to be fair, what it looks like, this is just my opinion, but what it looks like is they cut away and it cuts back to the same one frame that you've been watching the
Yeah.
whole time, but it almost looks like a petri dish of different like funguses almost. I know that's a really
Oh.
weird way to
I
say
forgot
it,
about that. Yeah,
but that it almost doesn't even look like blood. It's colored like
Gotcha.
it
blood.
looked like jelly.
Like almost like it's a cultivated.
Yeah, literally.
bioorganism.
Like it's just like
Ooh,
across the
I
wall.
like that. Okay, I like that.
yeah, it's very weird.
The next video, speaking of weird,
Speaking
is,
of weird,
video 10, messages from the dead. So,
did
with this
Doug?
guy-
Did you just touch me with your dick?
No.
Are you sure?
So this starts off with footage of basically this person walking through the woods, and they have these black gloves on, which we've seen these black gloves before in Doug's video of the person that's looking out the window and pulls back and the arm grabs her. They're
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
black gloves.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Nope, that's a band. Never mind.
It's OJ. This whole thing was OJ.
I thought he was wearing a white glove.
No, he wore a black glove. He
It was
drove
black.
a white Bronco.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Yeah. So
Shabonia.
this person's walking through the woods. They find a dead rat and they pick it up.
Why?
Ta-da!
Because that's what
so-
normal
ta-da.
people do.
Yep.
Okay.
So then we cut to this voicemail machine, and this is from the
A
80s.
voicemail machine.
Yeah, and this is from the machine.
I
Answering
hate that that's a.
People don't know what that is anymore, so I
No,
I
they
call it the
don't.
voicemail machine. And
Honestly, I
so-
think Mike is more relevant than what our term would be.
an answering machine.
yeah, nobody knows what that fucking is.
When you had to put a cassette in there.
Yeah. You just set it right and make sure it was rewound.
hmm
Mm.
And you could call it
Yeah.
to hear your messages on someone else's phone.
You had to call it. That's the only way you could hear your messages.
So anyway, this message is from this guy, and he's like, "Don't worry about work. You're way more important, hun. Like, don't worry about it. I just want to make sure that
Just
you're
don't worry about
you're good."
Yeah.
We cut to what I believe is a police department where the guy that left the voicemails is being questioned by the police. He mentions that after they lost the baby, he stayed home for a month. He said that Tiffany only got worse over time. So this is
You know
referencing-
who's talking, right?
Yep. What was his name? Alex.
Yeah.
So this is referencing to what you doing, bud?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
This is
referencing-
Alexander Marsh.
Yeah, this is Alexander Marsh. We're referencing back to Doug's video about the baby that went missing.
Tiffany Crisaldi.
And he's talking about Tiffany Crisaldi. So he mentions that every day on his lunch break, he would call her when he went to work, and they would just chat, make sure each other are okay. Why do you do things that you do?
You don't have to acknowledge it, man.
I just saw the thought process go.
There's almost none.
He was like talking and he saw it and then he's like,
I can't not think about Jason's nipple clamp. I just can't.
I'm just gonna.
I'm
keep
over here
going.
like coloring in the tip of a penis and Jason's just over here clamping his nip.
I am. This actually
And I'm
doesn't
trying
feel
to
bad.
tell a
We
story.
fully devolve
I thought
at
this
the
would
end
feel
of
worse.
these episodes.
That's
So-
why I can't go last.
Yeah, yeah.
he mentions how he calls him just a chat, and this time she didn't pick up.
Well, that's stupid.
And then it cuts to another voicemail from the guy. These take place at the first one takes place at 12. The next one takes place about 12:45, and he's like, "Hey, I'm just checking in again because like you never miss my calls. Like, you good? Like, what's going on? You okay?" And then it cuts to another voicemail, and this one's at like 1 o'clock, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm coming home. Like, something doesn't seem right. I'm on my way. Don't even worry about it." Then we cut to this old ass like computer, like 90s ass looking 80s and 90s ass looking computer things where it's like this like crushed deep fried ass image of this doctor guy, and it straight up like it opens up and it's like it's like this old ass shit. He's like clickety clacking in his username and everything, and so it starts up and we get these notes, these audio notes from Dr. Heinrich Albrecht, whatever. And he is a medical examiner in Westfield. This all takes place on May 19th, 1987. He gives us the details of the autopsy for Tiffany. In the details, he states that she had this black substance adhere to her body, and it's all over like on her face, her ears, her eyes, her neck.
You know, her body.
Yeah. He then mentions that her
the body.
Sorry.
It's on her body, you know. Ears, eyes, head, shoulders, knees, toes.
Knees
He
and
then
toes.
also mentions that the eyes are gone. He then says that there was she had this symbol that was carved into her. It kind of looks like a star, but like that the top point isn't there. It's just like a line going down. It's kind of what it looks
It's like a starfish with its head cut off.
Yeah, like the body, like the head,
It's like
Shoulders.
yeah, knees and the toes.
Okay.
thank you.
So he notes that it was carved into her after she died.
How did he note that?
Because there was no what's the word? There's no blood.
Oh, there's no coagulated blood around
yeah,
the
exactly.
incision. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Quag. And so we then cut over to a y'all just throw me off right now. We then cut over to this like child psychiatrist type of dude. His name is redacted, so you don't know who exactly this is, but thank you. He seems to be speaking to a younger Tiffany. That's the vibe I got off of this.
Oh,
And,
God, this part. Okay.
yeah. And basically it starts off
Boo.
the first time they talk is basically the psychiatrist going up to Tiffany and being like, "Hey, do you see the things in the room with you right now?" And she's like, Yep, they're here. And he's like, "Can you tell me where these things are?" And she's like, "They're fucking everywhere, dude. They're fucking everywhere, man." And
I really appreciate how much you fast forwarded that whole
Yes.
transaction.
there's a whole lot
How
of
much
nothing
you
in it.
skipped
I'm not
over.
gonna lie. Whole lot of nothing going on.
I
there.
appreciate that actually, because that's why I was booing in the first place. This is the one video. Let me say this right now. This is the one video where I was like, can we move on?
Stop.
Yeah.
Can we go forward on this? That's it. This is the only video that irked my jerks.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Anyway,
Go on.
oh, sorry, hang on. I forgot I had to swap
Wouldn't it
these
be
parts.
crazy?
Fuck off.
Wouldn't it be crazy if your notes
You
were
gotta
like
find
way
your
better?
fucking place.
Oh yeah.
No,
You
it's
gotta
not
look
that.
through line
Just
by
a
line.
clump
I put
of
them in the
fucking-
wrong spot.
Oh,
Hold on.
wouldn't it be weird if you had bullets to show you where you were?
I fucking hate you. Doug.
This episode is brought to you by Jason's Teenage Angst.
Anyway, we then cut to the these private recordings of Dr. fucking Heinrich from earlier.
Did you know that Heinrich is the name of the alien from Conker's Bad Fur Day?
I didn't. So the doctor then mentions that during the autopsy, he's like, I just had to record this shit just to put it out there. But there was some weird ass shit going on during that autopsy. He's like, the lights were flickering, the temperatures were changing. He's like,
got a boner.
he's like, it could just be faulty technology. He's like, maybe some repairs are needed. I don't fucking know. But he's like, but my assistant Sarah kept mentioning that she heard she heard Tiffany crying when we put her body in the cooler. She said that she kept hearing her crying in the cooler thing. And he's like, Sarah, you're probably just like, you're exhausted. You know, we've had a long day. You just go on home. And he's like, I didn't have the heart to tell her. I fucking heard that shit too. And that was kind of creepy to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Then after that, we cut to the psychiatrist and talking to younger Tiffany again. And basically he's like, Tiffany, we're going to go through a little bit of a fucking exercise, dog. And
The pause. I don't know why that was so funny.
It's fucking
He's
what's
like-
his name from or who always says dog? Fucking
the banana bread dude.
No, the guy from fucking original. Oh my god, why am I blanking so hard right now? This is stupid. Just keep going. Let my brain just be
Great.
stupid.
Okay.
And I'm
So-
here too.
He's like, close your eyes.
American
Tiffany.
Idol, the guy from American Idol.
Oh, Randy
Savage.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know, Randy Savage.
You know.
didn't really like your performance, brother. Randy
Dog.
Jackson.
Yes, thank you. He always says dog. That's what I assume
for
the
me, dog.
psychiatrist is.
So he's like, Tiffany, I need you to close your eyes.
Dog.
And I need you to close your eyes, dog, because like we're gonna go through it right now. So okay, he kind of puts her in like a trance, and she kind of goes to sleep a little bit, kind of like when you hypnotize someone, and they're like, "Oh, can you hear me?" And she's like, "Yeah, I can hear you."
No, I can't hear you.
And so basically, he's like,
'Cause, you
"Oh,
know, they-
picture the outside of your house. You're in your yard. It's a beautiful
Because
day
why
out.
would you answer that?
Yeah, he's like,
Keep
it's a
going.
beautiful day out. You're outside. It's really cool." And he's like describing like all the little details, and, like every minute detail. It's like, oh, you can see the wind blowing through each blade of grass. La la la. La. And he's like, turn around, go in your house. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And he keeps emphasizing on the fact that she is alone. And like throughout all this, he's like, remember, you are alone here.
You lonely bitch.
Everything's fine. Everything's normal. You're alone.
You know,
And he's
if
like, go to your house.
if I hear that more than 3 times, I'm gonna start thinking I'm not
I'm
fucking
not
alone.
But he's like, go in the house. She goes in the house. He's like, see, everything's cool. Everything's the way it should be.
Is it?
You're alone,
Is it?
but everything's
Am I?
comfortable. He's like, go up to the stairs. Go to your room. You see your
No.
room there? She's like, yep. He's like, go on over to your room. Remember,
You're
alone.
alone.
Dog. Don't even worry about it. You're alone.
There's no one in there.
And so
Well, I didn't think there was.
now that you say that, it makes me think otherwise.
Right.
And so she goes in the room, and he's like, perfect. He's like, tell me what do you see? Another? What else do you see?
Do you
She's
see
like,
another person? Because you're
Yeah.
alone.
Well, he's like, tell me what you see. And he's like, or she's like, there's another door. And he's like, oh, bet. Cash.
Fucking
Go
cool.
over to that door.
That sounds
She's like,
awesome.
okay. Goes over that door. And he's like, what do you see in that room? She's like, there's a TV with static. And she's like, oh, there's like a tall dude. Like, he's not facing me. He's facing the wall. There's like a tall dude here. He's like, nope, you're alone. That can't be right. She's like, nah, there's definitely a dude here.
No, you're wrong.
And he's like, no, but you're alone. And she's like, the fucking door is gone. And he's like, nope, you're fine. You're alone. Let's get back to your room. He's like, all right, let's get back to your room in your brain. So he's like, I'm gonna start counting down
Oh,
from
things
5.
make so much more sense.
And then he
now.
counts down to 5. And
Yeah.
she's like,
holy shit.
she's like, yo, the tall guy didn't like that. He's like shaking now. And he's like, there's no one there. She's like, fucking guy right here, dude.
did
Don't know
the
what to
whole
tell you.
series just fall into place
a
for you?
little bit.
And
Yeah.
so then he's like, all right, we're gonna start like heading. Let's get out of this room. I'm gonna get you back into reality. And he's like doing all these things. And while he's like trying to snap her out of it, she's like, yo, he's turning around and coming towards me now, dude. Like, I don't really know what's going on, dog. I don't like this.
Please
and the doctor dude's like, no, you're alone. She's like, I'm fucking not, dude.
not.
Bro, he's coming at me.
Pretty sure I'm not.
And he's
right
like,
now.
you're okay. You're okay. We're coming. He's like, all right, we're getting out of the hospital to go home. We're ready for 3, 2, 1. I'm going to snap you out of this. Okay, let's go. Wake up. And she's just wakes up and is just like screaming her head off. And you hear like these like other deep bellowing screams start to happen as well. Pretty fucking creepy.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty
Oh
fucking
my
creepy.
God.
Doing a little creepy there.
So then,
This is fucking serious.
yeah, it's
I know
good.
it's so good.
This
So
is
then
good.
we cut to the figure from the beginning that picked up the dead rat, and he's like at this like workstation, and he's like cutting this rat open with a pair of scissors. I was very uncomfortable watching this, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's not great. Trigger
Yeah.
warning: animal cruelty.
And then he fucking like he plays a tape recorder, and it looks like the tape recorder is like part of it's like in the rat. Maybe I just saw it.
What?
Funny? Yeah, maybe I just didn't see it right or something. It looks like a cord is going into
Is this
the
like
rat.
one of those fucking ads I see for? Do you want a pencil holder that just is a squirrel?
Are you sure that wasn't just their mouse?
Like, do they just have a mouse? I think you figured it out.
Tulpa.
So now we instantly cut, and it's like this like visual of that symbol from earlier that looks like a star without the top point. And there's a disfigured voice, and it's kind of like altered and whatnot as well. You can't really hear it.
Kind of
And basically it's saying like it's like, I got a story for you, Jim. It's gonna be crazy. He's like, this is for this message is for Dr. Milgren, who is Jim Milgren. We've heard this name a couple times now. And he's like, listen, dude, like I got all this information that you're gonna want. I know you got a lot of questions. You ain't gonna get an answer right now, brother. But fucking listen to this story I got for you, dude. It's gonna be tense. And then it just cuts. It just cuts. And then it cuts to that cooler from earlier, and you see like the door flapping, and then you hear like,
Oh my God.
you like hear this crying, and then it just this banging, and then it just pops open, and then this like shadowy, creepy figure of like Tiffany's body just like fades in from inside the cooler, and it's like just laughing as this happens, and then it just cuts, and that's the end of the video. It's fucking spoopy, dude.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Shit's fucking spoops. Now this last video, here's the fun thing. There's 2 videos left. These were Matt's. We didn't take notes, but we all 3 are gonna tackle this bad boy.
Except for the next one.
So the next one is tape 11, which is called Preparations for a Guest. TLDR, it's
literally
about
just
3 minutes of a dude basically like he created a shelter, like it looks like a shed.
Well, okay, to be fair, we don't know that he created it.
That's true. He's like fortifying it.
There's all we see, it's just a video of someone exploring what looks like a newly built room with it's like stainless steel walls on the inside.
Uh-huh.
But the fucking most horrific feature of the whole thing
Puts down like
is the thickness of the fucking board he puts as like a what is that called?
like a protector so the door can't open. I don't know what it's
Look,
called.
there's a lock, there's a deadlock, and then there's whatever the fuck this
He's
is.
literally, he boarded up the door,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
used a fucking log.
Whoever's
latch?
inside cannot get out. Whoever's outside
Would
can't
you call
get
it a
in.
latch?
No, like literally, it's like
I'd call it a.
No, I know what it is.
I would
but,
call it taking a tree from the forest and putting it in front of your door.
yeah,
okay.
That's what I would
straight
call
up. That's all he did.
The right word for sure.
I will say as they are going over parts of this room, you do see a bunch of glitchy sequences with like an arrangement of candles,
Mhm.
and that should hint you back to some culty activities earlier, as well as
A tape
a
recorder.
recording on a tape recorder that almost kind of sounds like somebody crying, which should clue some people into some things. But
Scary
yeah, that's
shit, dude.
tape 11. It's literally just this guy, like, I don't know if it's a guy. It's just someone going over this room.
Mhm.
They might have built it. They might have discovered it. We don't know 100%, but
Tape
it's
12.
very heavily fortified.
Waking your
this is like-
subconscious.
This is like the best.
This is the best video.
This is the best video in the whole
fucking
thing.
video.
It's
It fucking
so
rips, dude.
fucking good.
We're all going to come all over all of you
Yeah.
for this part.
Um.
You're welcome.
So it starts out literally
don't
being
like
like, "This is for Charlotte Melgrim only."
Yes, and it's titled
If you're
TF2
stupid, you're not her.
Waking Your Subconscious is what it's called.
Mhm.
Yeah,
This is actually a direct continuation of TF.
it's my video. Actually,
Yeah, TF2.
It's the video after
TF2.
yeah.
Yeah, this is number 3.
And it
of the
mentions there's like
TF3.
whatever
there's some
TF.
equipment
Can you
you'll need,
imagine
and
if
it's
Team
like-
Fortress 3 came out?
it's like here's
That's
some
the
equipment you'll
majority
need.
of the comments.
And it's like, you'll need your neurovisor, and you're gonna need a fucking notebook and pencil. Bro.
Remember, neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity.
That's
Everybody remember that word?
And there's just
if
like-
you need a minute to go look it up, go look it up. But
I
know what
can-
that means.
I can probably sum up the first 10 minutes fairly quickly if you
please do.
want.
Yeah.
go for it.
So it gives you like a big long checklist for waking your subconscious.
Do you see where the figure is in that video? Okay.
Anyways,
There's no figure in this.
I don't even know.
Not yet.
I want to bring up the figure, but like I don't even know how to explain that in between things. But either way, so this video is essentially supposed to be a checklist for prepping your brain for the machine and to do all this
To
testing.
wake your subconscious.
Correct. And basically it says be alone. You want to be
Most
alone,
importantly.
no disturbed. Like you can't do this with anyone else in the vicinity.
Oh,
Turn
shit.
off all your lights. We want this to be a very dim lidded place for you to view the program. And then it says make sure your volume's turned all the way up. We don't want you to not hear what we're saying, right?
No.
And then it says have your fucking book open to the TF2 section.
And if you
so you can
don't-
take some stupid notes
And if you don't,
for your stupid brain while we do this stupid thing.
and if you don't, just get a piece of notebook paper.
Yeah. So then it goes to this next part, and it's like, we're going to do some we're going to get your brain prepped. You can't pause anymore. If you try to pause it, you're fucking up and it's not going to work. So get ready for that. And then it like glitches out a little bit. And then we get to a countdown and it's like,
You have 10 seconds
There's
before
your
you can
figure.
quit.
yeah. And now
You got
and
10 seconds.
the screen's turning red and this like bubbly buzzing noise is happening. And you're like, ah, shit, I just got fucking
I got
seduced.
Meanwhile, in the background too, while this, I'm just gonna say it right now, while this whole thing's going on,
Yeah, yes.
there's this like shadowy figure
oh
that
my god, you can totally see him starting to come up.
slowly makes his way closer
Yeah.
and closer to the front of the video.
You can probably find him in that first section if you look hard enough.
I don't think you can because he literally just popped up right here. I feel like that's the point. Is it literally it just starts off. Boop.
Well, we got the fucking expert on shadow people over here.
I am.
No, that's fair. Thank you, Mike.
So yeah, once we get
What the fuck?
I clinked it. You were talking. Yeah. So you get this red light for like 30 seconds.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, you guys are
Some
stupid. Some people prefer muffins over
Muffin
Anyways,
button.
that's a Frank Zappa reference right there. Anyways, so okay, so we get this red screen that's flashing for 30 seconds. I had to like fast forward through it because I was like, this fucking sucks.
It's not great.
And then it's like, you know what? Go ahead and like pick some fucking words out of this list that don't belong. And
This is the,
priming.
the priming section.
yes,
You gotta prime your brain.
primed.
Get
a
primed, fucker.
get a little fluffed while you're doing this. And it's just, it's like pick some words that don't belong. You see a bunch of words that don't belong. And once you go through like set 1 and set 2, it kind of gets a little glitchy and then it's a little more glitchy. And then I think it's at set 3. It's like, where's your fucking daughter at, Jim? Huh? Like, where's your daughter,
Where's your
Jim?
fucking daughter, David?
Are you a responsible parent, Jim?
And from there, it just gets fucking batshit crazy. You see some glitches of like a newspaper about
Charlotte.
being missing
Yep.
and
Who
all
is
this
Jim's
shit.
daughter?
Who's Jimothy's daughter?
Jamouth.
And
Jimothy.
then once it gets through all these sets of words, it goes to a conditioning phase where it wants you to
Yeah.
basically face word test.
This is the
Face word test.
This is SAT. Just take the SAT again for a little bit.
Yeah, so basically they show a face with the
Rorschach
emotion. That's not a Rorschach test.
Oh, Rorschach's the ink
The
blot.
ink blot test. Yeah.
Right. What is the fucking the emotion test?
The bird test
I don't think that's it. Okay.
You remember
moving
that,
on.
Mike?
The bird test?
from Mobiletel.
No.
All right, that's something for later. All right, so long story short, you see all these faces. Mike, you'll know it when I tell you later.
Okay.
So you see all these faces, and it shows an emotion like written across the face, right? But it's like, all right, we're gonna show you the emotion, and we're gonna show you the face. But then we're gonna show you a face with the wrong emotion, and you're gonna say the emotion and not the face, like, or not the
Don't
word.
say the face.
And it
say
just
the
keeps
emotion.
doing that and doing that, and then it's like, the faces are scary, and that's pretty much
There's-
where it goes.
Yeah.
There's no better way to describe that than
I don't know. That's literally what it does.
And we
It's
start
like,
cutting to the
okay.
good shit.
Yeah, and this is. I was trying to blast through it to
Yes.
get to this part because
But
this is
we're
the
chuckle
best
fucks, so-
fucking part.
Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
We call this one the carboodly. That's what I wrote down. Remember?
Yes.
That was Charlotte's name.
Yeah, that's.
We
If you didn't know, that's Charlotte.
We told ourselves we were going to remember.
Brutally.
And then,
Charboodly.
and then we just didn't care.
All
Holy fuck. All right.
right,
So
you want me to take it away? You
yeah,
got
please,
it.
please, please.
So I'll pencil in.
Okay, cool.
I'll pencil in a little bit here. So then we cut to like security cam footage of this this house, and it immediately starts off with it kind of getting a little glitchy, and then it goes to like the front door, and you just see this giant skeletal fucking meaty figure just go up to the door,
Yeah.
fucking open the door, and go on in.
Okay, to be fair, the first time you see this figure, it's almost like he's rising out of the floorboards of the deck, and like he like shoots up past the camera. You're like, what?
He's just there.
He's
And
just
then
this
in the next
meaty
one,
bitch.
you see him like opening the door and going in.
Yeah, and then the
and
fucking
it's super quick.
It's
and
super fast.
You see the door open,
Yes.
and then it just closes. And so-
unnaturally fast.
Now, I
Unnatural.
want to just preface all of this with saying that we are watching a security camera
Yeah.
from a company called EverVigil. Like, this security company is watching this, like,
They've been
business.
hired to watch this. This is a business, right? It's a kennel, like a dog kennel.
Yeah, it's a dog kennel. So they
Yeah.
basically see this happen, and they're now alerted that a door opened and a power outage happened.
And
Yeah.
they're sent the video. It's like, here is what the video recorded during this
Yeah,
time.
it's like your 80p or 80 whatever it is,
Mhm.
fucking security, and they're like, "Hey, we noticed this shit's happening. Like,
and
you guys
it's
are all
for,
good."
and the house is owned by Charlotte
Sharboodly.
Charlotte Melgren.
Charboody.
Charboodly.
Charboodly.
Yeah, so it's Charlotte
Melgren.
Melgren.
And
Megram.
the guy's like getting on the phone with her.
The worst card
Magic
ever.
card ever. Yes.
The guy's like getting on the phone with Charlotte, and he's just like, "Hey, we noticed a door alarm went off and power outages and whatnot. So like,
I'm
we're
here
gonna
to
call the
provide your
cops."
free phone sex.
And she's
hour.
like,
Well, they don't call the cops quite yet. They're so he basically
"Well,
says,
no,"
"Hey,
but
we."
he's like, "We want to do this." She's like,
Oh,
"Well,
yeah.
hang on."
She's like, "What-
She's
what?"
like, "You guys have called me 3 times in the past week saying that a false alarm has happened," and he's like, "You know what? Let me check the footage."
And he goes to
does.
check the footage, and it's all
fucked.
corrupted.
It's all fucked. But I will
But
say,
it's like working and not working.
Yeah.
He does say, he comes back and says, you know what, those break-ins that you experienced, like there was footage attached, and like it's not nothing.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause
we
she's
just
like-
can't
he's
we can't
like,
nail down what
he's like,
actually is happening.
There's a door alarm that went off for the kennel, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, this has happened before." And he's like, "I'm gonna call the police." She's like, "Don't fucking do that because I have to be up in the morning." Last time it
Yeah,
took an
I
hour.
got shit to do.
So last time it took an hour. She's like, "Don't call the police, please. Let me just go check it out." He's like, "I strongly recommend
You don't
not
fucking
doing that.
do that.
Stay in your house. Let me call the police." She's like,
Because I
"How's
just saw a
about this?"
skeletal man walking on your roof.
And he's like, she's like, "How about this? Let me get dressed. You get a flashlight. I'll stay on the phone with you.
No,
Let
she
me go
says, "I'm
check
gonna
this
get
out.
the handheld."
The
Yeah.
handheld.
Let me get the
I
handheld.
love
Let me get the
that.
cordless. I'm gonna go check this out."
Cordless,
I'm gonna get the
right,
cordless phone.
cordless,
She's like,
yeah.
I'll stay on the fucking line with you. He's like, "Fucking fine, whatever."
And keep in mind, he has not yet seen any weird shit yet.
Yeah, he's like, "Fine."
He's like
while
trying
you're,
to see.
He's
He-
like, "While you're getting
He
ready."
has seen it. I don't know if he's recognized it.
Well,
Well, no,
I
he's
don't
like,
think
"While
he-
you're getting ready, let me check out the old false alarms
Right,
to see if
fair,
those are
right.
actually
That's
false
right
alarms."
here.
Right.
Yep. No, you're right.
This
You're
is
right.
when
That's
he's
right
checking
here.
them out, and they're
I'm
all
just so
like
excited.
corrupted.
I know, it's such a good episode.
Corrupted. They're all coming up with a playback error. He does get to see a couple. Like there's one that shows
The roof.
The roof.
Oh,
Oh my god,
And
yeah,
it
you
shows
see that?
this skeletal figure, this giant skeletal figure.
crab walks.
Crab walk across the roof, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he goes back to play that video again, and it doesn't play.
It says no.
Yeah, it's like corrupted.
And the lady's back on the phone. She's like, "Okay, I'm ready to go. Are
I
you
got
still
the
there?"
cordless.
He's like, I'm still there. Are you ready? He's like, yeah, I got to let you know right now.
You shouldn't do this.
Those weren't false alarms before. I don't know what's out there, but someone's been stalking around your place. I don't know how the other people that called you did not see this.
Yeah,
What
he's
do you
like,
mean
I don't like
something?
none of this.
You mean like a person? He's like, no, something.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't know what
Nope.
it is, but there's something out there. And she's like, all right, well, again,
he's just
let
like
me go
this.
check it out.
He's like the video isn't right, and she's like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's just like flying.
So I will say he does end up finally like getting to a non-corrupted video.
Yes.
but it corrupts at the end.
But then it eventually corrupts. But you see this like just fleshy bone.
No, not fleshy.
Okay.
Exclusively not fleshy.
muscly, bony thing, just like kind of like coming in and
Yeah.
out of the picture, and then it's like glitchy and
Something's
shit.
missing some skin.
It is not good, like
No.
at all. But yeah, he's basically at this point, I guess, trying to be like, you need to like fucking
Fuck
stop
off.
what you're
Get
doing.
the
And she's
fuck
like,
out.
oh no, don't worry about it. Like, let me just check on the dogs. They're right here.
You're right here. I'm right
And-
here. They're
and-
right here.
And she's like, something's
weird.
wrong.
Something's
And
wrong
it's,
with
she's
the
like, he's like,
dogs.
what? And she's like,
They're
I
just
don't know.
standing
They're just
there.
standing there, like they're frozen. And
Oh, they're probably just sleeping, and they're probably just woken up and startled now, and they're just standing there.
yeah, and basically as soon as this happens, we get footage of the thing going straight into the house,
Opening
and
the
he's like, you need to fucking go now.
Immediately.
Why do you
Because he
motherfuckers?
sees when you move the shadow up there.
You see it, right?
Yes, I
Oh,
see the
thank God.
shadow.
Okay.
God damn. You guys are
Sorry.
like
It's
looking
just-
past me, and I'm like, what is behind me?
It's just your shadow.
Um,
But yeah, he's like,
I
you
just
need to
wa-
get the fuck out of there. Something's in there with you. Get the fuck out. Go back to the house. Lock the fucking doors. I'm calling the police. And she's
She's like,
at
how?
the same
There's
time.
no door.
yeah,
Well, at
she-
the same time, she hears something. She's like, what the fuck was that? And just starts screaming. And then she drops the flashlight and she's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
No,
And he's
no,
like,
no, no. She goes, the flashlight got ripped
Oh,
out
yeah,
of my
got
hands.
ripped out of my hand, yeah.
Yes.
oh god, yeah, because
She's like, it ripped it out of my
he's
hands.
Like, he's like, you need
Can
to.
you guys tell that we loved this part?
Yeah, it's so good. He's like, you gotta chill out. Like, he's like, you need to be quiet. The police will be there in 3 minutes. He's like, I know it's dark, but if you can't see, then the thing that is in there with you can't see you either.
Which does not make anybody in this situation feel
no,
better.
not at all. And then fucking she's sitting there and like it's quiet for a little bit and you hear this thing in the background just like making these like snarling
It's like
noises and like
grumbling, yeah.
growls and shit. And then she says the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. She goes, I think I felt my skin move.
Mhm.
And then just fucking
Blood curdling, horrendous
Screaming.
screaming, flesh ripping, bleeding. It's just
yeah, it is not
Ugh.
good. And then it just cuts right back to this
Harrowing.
fucking video like nothing happened and we're just trying to go through to get our brain
yeah,
fucking
we're just
right
getting
on
our
track.
brain right. That's all we're doing.
Yep. It's like true or false. Did this happen?
Yeah, I
What do you
honestly
think of
I-
this?
It's
Oh, yeah,
like
this is-
statement 1, 2, 3, 4, and
this
5.
is just
like,
gaslighting the test, is what this is.
oh yeah, it's just you'll watch if you watch it, you'll see it.
Yeah.
This part, it's pertinent, but it's also
Your
like
fear and vulnerability are essential components of this process.
yeah. So it's just a lot of weird shit, and then the next like 3 to 4 minutes is literally just like the
This-
most trippy shit ever.
Yeah.
You see a lot of imagery from some of the past videos, but it's even more distorted than it was before. It's a consistent like red hue to everything. You see just a lot of like really weird imagery. It's hard to make out a lot
it's
of
a
it,
fucking
but
acid trip. It's like
Oh,
psilocybin, the video.
yeah, it's like a bad acid trip though. Like
It's
you're not
real
having a
bad.
good time.
Yeah.
But what I think really matters in this whole thing is we get
yes.
to
Yes,
the
yes,
actual
yes.
footage at the ending where
Oh,
we
the
see
tr-
the police show up
Yeah. Sergeant, okay, this is
to Charlotte's place.
I don't know if anyone cares, but this sergeant's name is Sergeant C. Wilkes. Apparently this has been named before.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I don't remember it.
Same. And he enters the basement. And
oh god, this
what are
part
the-
is so
so
crazy.
I do want to say he walks about 90% down the stairs before going, police, who's there?
Oh, one thing we forgot to mention real quick. While Charlotte's being like attacked by whatever this thing is in the dark room,
yes.
she's like, I can't find the door. It's gone.
It's
Oh,
gone.
yeah,
and then
yeah,
it
yeah.
flashes
Gone.
to an image of outside the
Of the
house,
outside
and
the house.
the door
The
is
door's
fucking
gone.
gone.
There's
We
no
just
fucking
heard
door.
that too
Yeah.
in your video,
Yes.
Mike, where,
Where the door's
where
missing.
the girl is like, hey, like, I don't have the door.
What the fuck?
And they're like,
happened?
nah, no,
It's
no, 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 it's
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
So we get Very end of this, we get body cam footage of Sergeant Wilkes, who enters the basement. I will say he goes most of the way down and then goes, police,
Yeah, he
who's anyone down here?
fully didn't have a warrant for sure.
100% no. As you do as a police officer. in
he's
the
like
US.
walking through it, and he's like, "Oh, it smells
It smells
weird.
fucking smells
Yeah,
bad.
it smells icky down
Is that
here."
a fucking shit?
Is that a
that poopy?
shit?
And he's
It's a
like going
poopy.
around, and he's like whipping the camera
but
around.
it's literally, it's just fucking solid concrete and like support beams.
Mm.
And then he whips around behind him over an area that he's already walked over. And when he gets there, he literally sees the body of Charlotte that's being, is it being eaten by the dog?
It's
being,
like being
melded with it.
It's almost like
mutilated,
being
like-
fused or like being consumed or like adapted or something.
It's straight up
think
like the thing.
Yeah,
the
it's like
fucking thing when the
just-
dog gets into the kennel. They put the dog in the kennel, and then all hell breaks loose. It's
Yeah,
that
this-
fucking scene.
This woman's body is mutilated. Like there's only the top half of her at
It's
this
the
point.
expression that gets me.
Well, and
If I'm being
I
honest.
think
Yeah,
she is
honest.
becoming part of it because she
Right.
has pointy ears now and fangs.
Yes.
Well, this is the thing
Yes.
that was confusing me. Well, not confusing me, but like this is the thing that we were seeing earlier about all the people and like how they were deformed later on.
Mhm.
Yes, and that's why I think there has to be at least a part 2, right?
I want to say there's going to be a part 2
Because,
because there's
guys,
a lot of questions that I have still about some of this stuff.
Everybody, we have reached the end.
Yeah, I mean this this is so good. I love this because there's also, it says next tape TF3. We don't even have it yet.
Well,
No.
and ironically, the tape is called The
But
Shadow,
it's
Communion,
TF3.
and Assimilation.
Yes.
What just fucking happened? She was assimilated.
Well, we saw
While they were
somebody eating
communioning.
of the body, and then we saw a communion to happen right after that.
oh
Yeah,
my god,
but-
this is
yeah,
such a
just
good
that-
fucking
so
series.
fucking good.
That last scene of her just melding with this fleshy
The dog.
dog creature.
It reminded me of. Did you guys see the newest rendition of Colorado Space?
No.
I know you did.
Yeah, with fucking
With Nick Cage?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the llama scene.
Mm.
It's just this. That's wow. Don't put. That's not what I wanted to point to.
It's
but you know what I mean.
It's fucking
That's
Yoshi's
Yoshi
ass.
with a succulent ass. I don't need that, but you know what I mean. The dog scene.
So we've been speculating a lot
Ugh.
during our parts. So I don't think there's a whole lot for us to speculate on after this. I do think I almost think it's best if we left the door open for if there's another part to come out before we start just being like, this is what happened, this is what I think it is. I will say we should gush a little bit.
Oh
but,
fuck yes, please.
I do want to
Please?
just mention the person who I guess made this whole thing. Their name is Rob Gavigan. You can
Not
find
Alex or Aiden or some shit.
them. No,
Oh, I
there's
see what
a
you mean.
million of them, but
Thank you.
it is not. It's Rob
Don't look at me like I
Gavigan.
had a third
I was so
penis.
confused. Like,
"Whoa."
did I miss something? No, but yeah, they have their own YouTube channel. It's just you can search up Rob Gavigan.
Yeah.
They do a bunch of different stuff. They do a lot of like true crime. They run a podcast. They talk about ARGs. It's actually they like to do a lot of the person reacts to this video
This.
kind of stuff, which is I guess essentially what we do, sort of. But we're not doing it at like live.
we're not labeling
They all
it
do
as
kinda start with
Deludia
an A.
Reacts.
Now that I'm
to
looking
be
back,
fair-
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was a lot of Alexes,
Dude,
but no,
yes.
there was like 4
Alex,
Alexes.
Aiden,
Theo, formerly Aiden,
I'm sorry, yes, formerly
Um,
Aiden. I forgot.
and a lot of A's. Now that I'm looking at it, I thought it was
Yeah.
like, I was like, oh, it's the joke is
There's
Alex's.
Alex.
But yeah, no, it's just
Uh,
A's.
It's just A. You have to. Your name has to start with A to do analog horror. Apparently, I don't know. At least do
Yeah.
it well.
So, but yeah, they do a bunch of stuff. I mean, obviously, this has become very popular. It's very good.
Oh,
in
it's
my
so
opinion.
good.
Probably the
Um,
best analog horror I've seen in a very long time.
You will never,
Yeah.
ever, ever catch me saying I fucking loved this insert analog horror.
Yeah.
You won't. And
But
if
here
Matt
we
were
are.
here, if Matt were here, he would say the same. But honestly, I want season 2. I want more of this. To come out.
So
I'm waiting.
I just want
Please.
to put this out there real quick. I know we don't want to like go too into like what we think is going on story wise or anything, but I do think my first original thought was this is kind of like an anthology thing where they dug into that mountain, and
Yep.
ever since then, some weird spooky shit has been happening to the town.
Yeah, we can definitely
And-
sum up what we
Yeah.
think is going on,
Yeah.
at least at this far.
But here, I don't know if that's the case anymore. But my first initial thought was, oh, a lot of these videos are just random things that are happening to random people across this town because of whatever happened in this mountain. But the more I'm looking into it, a lot of it is centered around this Tiffany woman, Jim Melgren.
Yep.
There's like some supernatural going on because we saw into Tiffany when she was young's mind, and she saw, the tall guy with no door. We're seeing that at Charlotte's place. Obviously supernatural shit that they don't really explain too much about. And the Semiodyne's involvement is kind of
it's
not
very
really
vague so far.
Now,
Yeah.
with the-
sporadic.
I think part of that, this was going to mention before. So before when in your video where they're like, oh, these break-ins were happening by an anti-American group. Reason I said, I think I know why they did that.
The fucking Don Wright video?
Yeah, reason they did that, I think, is because in Mine, where they're talking about how they're doing the National Access Initiative, Semiodyne was heading that.
Hey, it's almost
And
like
now-
those two things were the same thing.
Well, and so why I think they called it an anti-American thing was because all the houses that were burglarized had Semiodyne's equipment, which was basically being funded by the government. So everything's being burglarized. They are basically said it is an anti-American thing because all these houses had American technology and shit in them. I think that
it was misdirection.
yeah, it's
100%.
misdirection.
100%. Oh, as soon as I heard that they
Propaganda.
were building in that shit with their video equipment, I'm like, yes.
My whole thing is I don't know what
Real
that
quick,
has
do
to
you think that maybe as opposed to like a terrorist group, do you think that maybe like some of these tests got out of hand where they made too many tulpas at one time?
No, yeah, that's what it is.
Oh,
But
100%.
they're claiming it as an anti-American terrorist group to keep the masses at
That's the
reassured that
I
nothing
guess that
weird's
makes
going
sense
on.
with the your first video or whatever.
that's
Yeah.
the PR headline to keep panic at bay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I guess I'm a lot of the stuff that I'm like thinking about here is like there's so much of the thought form tulpa like thing happening,
Mhm.
but like we have no idea where this like I want to call it the main thought form tulpa that we see, the red
The skeleton.
embodied
yeah.
like
Yeah.
skeleton figure.
The
I
red
want to know
skeleton.
like where it came from essentially. Like
I think we got that
Same.
answer because in Mine,
Oh my god,
he's
no,
talking,
the faces.
in Mine, it pops up in Katie's room and is like, "I'm your imaginary friend." She's like, "I must have made you at that doctor's office." So I think she created it with that machine on her.
I just well,
And it spiraled out of
I think
control.
I
I have
agree
the
with you.
answer.
I just don't. I want to
have the
know if
answer.
that thing is the same thing as the one in the end.
No,
yeah, that I
that-
don't.
Oh
know.
my god! Do you remember the faces that we saw in that video that was conditioned? Same
Mhm.
video,
Where
same
we- yeah.
exact video.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one very, very quick moment where you see the flesh and teeth form
Mhm.
from the fucking mask?
Mhm.
I think that was a fucking thought form / tulpa that the viewers created.
Well,
and sent to, because we got
that video was only
got
for
subjected. Well, we got subjected to the conditioning, the priming, like
That's true.
everything.
well, that
I think
video
that
was
was
only
what
meant.
that was.
That video was meant for only Charlotte, though.
Well, that was the last video. I think he's talking about like I think it was like video 6 or 7.
No, the very last video. That yes, that was meant for Charlotte, but
So she would have been the only one to watch it.
except we watched it.
So you're talking about like us as in the real viewer, not a viewer in universe, like an actual
Like
us.
This is
we're
where we-
literally seeing it.
Okay,
And
so
so-
that's the thing with this too is as much as we keep calling this an analog horror, it's almost like a found footage, unfiction analog horror. Like
It's a hybrid.
it's definitely hybrid as fuck.
I think that's where all of our series are going to go from now on is hybrid. And I think we need to start looking for that.
Everyman hybrid.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't really know what the plot is here. I like all the ideas. I think it's super fun, but I think it's very obvious that something has to do with this mountain.
there's got to be
Something
a season
happened
2.
there that spiraled out of control.
Oh yes, they dug into a mountain like they weren't supposed to. This definitely took inspiration from Mountains of Madness because
and like
holy
yeah.
shit, the fucking gathering of like timelines apart
and there's
artifacts.
there's cults and
The
stuff
cults.
too. Yeah.
Oh, it's yes. So inspiration is obvious in some places,
Mhm.
but we don't have like a significant ending.
What if the creature that we're seeing is a tulpa created by the cult? Because we see the cult members a lot.
That's
Maybe
what
they
it is.
created it.
No, that's 100% what it is. That's
Yeah.
the only reason they went over that point in one of their videos saying some thought forms can be the most powerful thought forms can be created from groupthink.
Mhm.
The only reason they included that information is to back that claim up.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because why else would you include that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I kind of, I don't want there to be another season only because I don't want this to get too.
I want this to remain in obscurity.
This ended fucking awesome. And if you try to do another
I don't
one,
need answers.
exactly.
I just need to feel horrified.
I don't need answers, but I kind of just want to know what the story is. I just want the creator to give me a paragraph that's like, this is the story.
And they
That's
should
all I
charge
fucking
us
want.
$30 for it.
To
Seriously
review
though, like think about it. You leave this how it is, right?
Mhm.
And you say like, okay, if you want to know the mystery behind this whole thing, I will send you the thing to explain all of it.
Send you a PDF.
That's a hard decision.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would take that.
I would. I like to know the ins and outs of. I don't want to make another series. Just summarize
You
the
just want
plot.
to know what's going
Summarize
on.
the plot just so I can coherently understand it. Because I would love to know what the plot is and rewatch everything and be like, oh, this makes sense now. But my stupid lizard brain has no idea what's going on right now. So, which
Well-
isn't bad. A lot of the fun is in the mystery. So,
That's what I'm saying though.
Mhm.
Like I don't.
no,
I
I'm
don't
on that boat
yeah.
too. I'm on the boat of wanting to know more, but that might ruin it for me at the
That's-
same time. I
yes.
have no idea.
That's how I always feel about like a second season of anything.
I
It's
know.
like either it's going to be like in some rare cases it's going to be better than the first season. In some other cases you're going to get
One
too
Punch
much
Man.
information.
One Punch Man season 1, fantastic. Season 2, booty butt cheeks.
I have
Wayward
yet to
Pines,
watch that one.
Same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, gonna go on a limb and say
Do we have anything else we want to say about this before you do that?
I'm good.
I know you are. Clearly.
I've said I've said my piece. Go watch it. It's
Doug,
fucking
do you have
good.
anything to say about this? I know that you and I are both kind of on. I am on team. I fucking hate analog horror. I know you're less so there, but still kind of on the same page.
I do love a good analog horror. I think there's something about the when it's done right. I think there's something about the nostalgic feeling to it,
Mhm.
the imagery you get, the almost sense of like all this shit happened before my time.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling
There's like a
goes
temporal distance
hand in
here.
hand with a good analog horror. But then you've got so many shitty ones out there that it's hard to be like, I fucking love analog horror when 80% of them are like kind of booty and just
Some slideshow.
there. So I want to say I give a lot of respect to this one for doing a really good job at making the aesthetic work, making it look like it's in the time that it's supposed to be
yeah.
in.
That
The voice acting, the actual video segments, all really, really great. I will say there's a lot of AI imagery in this, and
There is.
that is a topic for debate among a lot of people. I think it works in this situation because like this seems like a one-man
Yes.
project.
I'm
Yep.
okay with AI if you use it when. I'm okay with it if you're a small person, like a one-man band, and you can't afford this shit. But when like a fucking movie studio, it's like you're
Now,
well,
Here's the thing for me. AI is just another medium for people to create art. Now that being said,
One
I
of the
don't like
first
the
video
fact
drop-
that AI takes art from other people to formulate its thing, but like I think it's just another tool for a creator to like this creator's good at making videos and they're good at making stories. They might not be an artist though. Like why I don't know. I don't want to say like why hire someone to do art for them when, you know, a lot of artists are out there trying to make a living doing art for people. But I think in this sense, like this situation, I think it works. I also don't know if it is AI art. I'm just
Some of it is, you can
speculating
tell.
because it looks like it to me. But
Yeah.
all I gotta say is good job, and go to deluded.com.
yeah, they did a great job. Slap your peens against your beans.
Linktree.com/deludedpod.
Linktree/peens and beans.
All our links to everything is either don't look under the internet
Or
or
peens and
deludedpod.
beans at
You know what? We
AOL.com.
we should change
Inquiries,
that
go
for
to
like a month.
deludedpod@gmail.com.
Just see what happens.
Send us a voicemail or a text. If you send us a voicemail, we'll play it at the
Yeah.
end of the show. If you send us a text, we'll respond to it. You can send it to our Google phone number, 630-909-9366. It's right there. Yeah, just anywhere you are, just look up Don't Look Under the Internet or DeludiePod. You'll find us. It's that easy.
Any way you want it.
Subscribe to
That's
the
the way
website
you
or to our
need
Patreon,
it,
patreon.com/DeludiePod. Every dollar helps. It really do be helping. That's all I got. I love you. If you lock your gray, unlock it.
Nope.
That's all I got.
Okay.
What do you got?
Oh, fucking, as always, I don't think I've missed an episode saying this that I've been
Pay
on, but
Steroid.
Buy this cup on our website.
stay paranoid. I don't know what else to say because buy this cup is a much better tagline.
Buy this cup. If you can't read it, which I'm sure you can't from me doing this.
What are
It
you
says,
drinking?
what are you drinking? What are you thinking?
There's a bottle here and it's half full.
And quote or in parentheses, yeah,
What are we drinking?
we already did this.
You're right.
Goodbye, everybody. We're gonna let the alcohol just take over that one. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Don't look under the internet.